Derivative Jill.
There she is. There she is.
Welcome to Jill's.
Can I offer you some tea?
Good tea. Nice house.
Would you make me some of that Plomeek soup? Greetings and felicitations.
Hello and welcome to Plomeek Teatime number 91. And today we're reviewing a movie that Scotty R37 really wants to discuss. And I decided maybe it would be interesting as it's not really Christmassy at all. But yet it still fictionalizes the lore of Christianity as if it were a comic book. So while the mysticism, miracles, and supernatural nature of real religion in our universe requires a lot of faith to believe in Kevin Smith's universe, it's definitely an active participant in the lives of those that inhabit it. So it's completely separate, even though they use the words like Catholic and Christianity and demons and angels. It's a completely I don't think there's anything to be offended by because it's a completely different, separate universe that you're living in. It's like an alternate. It's like JJ Star Trek version of religion. It's not real Star Trek. It's just a wacky facsimile of it, and we can have fun with it, I think. And so then, in any sense, these angels and everything, they're way more conspicuous, very much like the Greek gods are shown to interfere in mortal life in the Iliad and the Odyssey, but this time with way more crass, dark, and sometimes clever humor. Of course, comedy is subjective, so if you have to watch you'd have to watch this movie to see for yourself if you like it. But what helps the entire thing for me is Alan Rickman. He's really incredible. And another thing that helps is the disclaimer that Kevin Smith adds, saying that this is all just a fantasy, as in so many words as I just said.
I believe it goes something like disclaimer, a definition. 1, a renunciation of any claim to or connection with. 2, a disavowal. 3, a statement made to save one's own ass. And he goes on, if I may.
You may.
Though it'll go without saying 10 minutes or so into these proceedings, View Askew would like to state that this film is, from start to finish, a work of comedic fantasy, not to be taken seriously. To insist that any of what follows is incendiary or inflammatory is to miss our intention and pass undue judgment. And passing judgment is reserved for God and God alone. This'll go for you film critics too. Just kidding.
So please, before you think about hurting someone over this trifle of a film, remember, even God has a sense of humor. Just to look at the platypus.
And then we apologize to everyone in the platypus community. We do not mean to besmirch these regal animals.
Yes, right. It's not our intention to slight these stupid creatures in any way. Thank you again, and enjoy the show.
Oh, I love this movie so much. It is Kevin Smith's Star Wars.
Star Wars with the
I think it is.
With angels and
I think
demons.
it is. Yeah. I think that if you want, this is the closest that Kevin Smith, being an incredible Star Wars fan, I think this is the closest that he ever got to making a Star Wars movie. And I love it. I am so
definitely
in love
creative,
with this movie.
But you'll have to show me how it's like Star Wars, except for, dark versus light, I guess.
That's it.
That's it. All right. You're a demon.
But,
oh.
Well, that's I can't say the quote within the first 10 minutes, but that's Jason Lee. Like, the cast in this movie is stacked. You got Jason Lee, Ben Affleck. I don't know why I gave Jason Lee top billing, but Jason Lee, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Linda Fiorentino, obviously Jay and Silent Bob are there. Alan Rickman,
They're
Chris
there, yeah.
Rock,
Alan Rickman.
Selma
Ooh,
Hayek,
I love him.
Janine Garofalo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I'm forgetting
Hayek's cool.
many people.
Yeah, I'm
Hell,
sure.
we
George
even get
Carlin.
George Carlin. We even get Randall and Dante in this playing different roles, but this is like a culmination. This is so good. This is the fourth film directed by Kevin Smith.
I did
After
notice them, yes.
Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, and then this was it. And oddly enough, I think it was after Mallrats, I think, and it said at the end credit, it says Jay and Silent Bob will return in Dogma. And it took a while, but he finally made it. And I did. Kevin Smith is one of my favorite movie makers of all time. And it's not because he is so craft adept, but I love his wit and humor. He's an amazing writer, or at least he was in his early career. And so I appreciate the fact that you're indulging me in this flight of fancy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm glad I could. I'm glad I could do this too.
Indulge?
Let's see when. Well, yeah, this movie was released in 1999, and
Yeah.
November 12th, very specifically. Like you said, written and directed by Kevin Smith. Let's see what else. Okay, yeah, and there it is. That's this.
I saw it
movie.
in theaters.
You saw it in theaters.
Yeah. How old were you in 1999?
How old was I in 1999?
You were 6?
Almost 14.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, no, I'm a little older than that.
I refuse to believe that you age.
Yeah, well, it's true. Oh, did we mention Chris Rock?
I think I said Chris Rock.
Okay, you did. You were saying the name so fast, I couldn't keep up. And there's so many characters, and the characters are really well done. One of the things I like about this movie, I wish all movies did this, was label the characters as they appear, and just because I'm not paying attention sometimes when they're talking and saying their names to each other, so I like having the label over them.
It is helpful, but that's again, it's like an epic,
a
biblical epic.
Yeah.
Oh.
And,
the platypi people.
Right.
Oh, so Bud Cort? Alanis Morissette? Heavens.
Alanis Morissette, yes, right. She's how we see, yeah.
Yes.
She's how we see God.
So that's Bud Cort, and I think he would be best remembered as Harold and Maude, a 1970s movie about a May-December relationship, and he played Harold, and they got him, and Scott Mosier produced. He plays the philandering guy on the bus. We'll get there, and he said, "I can't believe we got Bud Cort. This is incredible." And it wasn't until after I saw this movie that I saw Harold and Maude, and it is fun. It's a good movie.
Well, he doesn't do too much in this movie. He's just beaten up by children and then put in a coma until the end.
Yeah, but the thing is that if God, the reason, and we'll get to there, but God can't speak to you because our frail human form, our heads would explode, our heads would cave in and our hearts would explode in our chests.
And that's why we need Alan Rickman.
That's why we need Alan Rickman. There he is. There's the man, Cardinal Glick. Before we get through, I know you want to race through these slides because I have a funny feeling that you don't like this movie as much as I do.
I'm not going to race through anything. I'm trying to get into it. But you're right. We do need to say hello to the chat because they are here. And yes. Franco Walker, say hello to you.
Hey, Franco.
And I've never even heard of Dogma. Yeah, it's a movie. It's a fictional representation of Christianity, the Bible.
I think
It's
it
true.
is a fictional representation of Christianity, but the main thing is when it comes to spirituality and faith, it's people that screw it up in
Well,
terms of
it's the difference between your personal spirituality versus organized religion.
yes.
Gorilla's Random Thought says you can start now. Your favorite woman haters. You hate women, Gorilla?
Why?
What?
They're
Why would you do
magical.
such a thing?
They inhabit my thoughts a lot.
JJ Star Trek was very offensive. Yeah, I guess it was. And
Yes.
in this case, this movie could be just as offensive to people who are religious in terms of the Catholic faith. And so that's why I made that comparison. So I hope that was an adept one. Heaven's
Wars, Episode 9, The Return of the Fallen Angels. Yes. Good to see you,
It's
Greek
so-
letters.
They sure did know how to party back in 1999.
Or so Prince told me.
Well, yeah. Nemesis
Nemesis.
Whedon is here. Hit that like button, you beautiful beings. Great to see you, and also good to see Lemon Pie.
Lemon.
And yes, I am doing well. I hope you're doing well too. Hello to Raymond Feliciano of King Dolphin TV.
Hey!
Everybody check him out. He's got a
Absolutely.
channel.
Follow him on X. Follow him on his channel. Subscribe to the pod. Be part of the pod.
Yes. Nemesis of Eden says you should have been on Gorilla Stream during the election night, Jill. It was bad. I'm just kidding.
Weren't we on that? Though?
Well, we were on it in the last 10 minutes. We missed it mostly.
Yeah. We sort of helped close it out.
Come on, Jill. You don't remember Minnie from Tuesday who came into the chat and called us all women haters and left? Oh, right. Yeah, but we only arrived as she was leaving, so I didn't really understand what was happening in terms of that. This movie has better theological doctrines than any current religion.
I'm with you on that.
Greek letters.
The idea, see, and that's something that Chris Rock says throughout the movie. And it's like, do you have faith or do you believe? You can change a belief, or you can change an idea, but you can't change a belief. And I really appreciate that. And it's like, do you believe? No.
Well, you can change your belief. It's just hard.
Idea.
It's just harder to do it.
Yes. Bill's here.
Hey, Outlaw Bill.
Outlaw.
Sorry. Yeah, no.
I love the Buddy Christ. I bought my sister a Buddy Christ.
Did she like it?
Yes. Well, she's married to a Muslim too, and so she has it on her bookcase. So she does have a little Jesus.
Nice. What happened? I see error message. Oh no, there's an error. You have to tell me more. If I can help, I would
Is it
like
because
to
of
help.
all the blasphemy that's about to come?
Yeah. What is Plomeek tea? Well, it is a Vulcan. It is a type of Vulcan tea. The thing is, Vulcans have a Plomeek tea and a Plomeek soup. So are they made of the same materials? And why would you make your tea just like your soup?
I don't know. You can get ginger tea, and you can put ginger in soups as well. Hey, Taylor Swift should have run as a third party. Matt G.
Hey, Matt G. Yeah. The thing is, if she'd done that, then the other side would have got an even bigger win. I want
Baby Christ? Beatty?
I don't know what this is saying.
I want a Beatty Christ. I want a Beatty Christ so hard as a certain person wants a She-Hulk. Oh, you want a buddy.
Oh, a buddy
Christ. Buddy Christ.
Oh, okay. It took a minute to decipher that one.
No, you can, they're available. You can get it. It's like a little dashboard thing.
Mm-hmm. And I definitely, it's so since even though this movie does talk about Catholicism, it doesn't really portray any of it realistically anyway. So then once you get to the point where you realize how absurd everything is, and when it's presented with its own freedom to make up any rules of engagement that it wants, you do begin to relax a little to enjoy it. But at the same time, it does get into some theological debates that are kind of too broad to actually cover with any true meaningfulness in a movie like this. But maybe just opening the topics themselves is something we can admire anyway, even if they come off as a little bit trite. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
True.
I still enjoy it, and it is interesting, but for some reason, sometimes they get into a deep debate and they're just like one sentence, and that's it. That's all we get from it. Oh, that was my opinion on that.
But I do
Moving
like
on.
it. I like that enlightenment, or at least the idea of enlightenment, is prophetic and brevity. Like it's brief and to the point.
Mhm.
See, I
And-
usually
oh.
think that Kevin Smith does himself a disservice by making a really good joke. He writes something really well, and then he tries to punch it with just one final, I don't know, fart joke, and it undercuts a lot. But I think that he's very restrained in this movie, and it does work a lot of the time. Also, so this is Loki.
It is a really funny movie.
This is Loki. He is or was the angel of death before he got fired. And he's speaking to a nun who is played by Lady Elaine from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. No joke.
Lady Elaine? I didn't realize that was Lady Elaine.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. Well, I didn't recognize her since she's, not a puppet.
It's a habit.
Wow. Okay, so yeah, and Loki's name, of course, comes from the Norse god. So that's
Of
pretty obvious.
mischief.
Mm-hmm.
And he shows up again in another Kevin Smith movie, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. And he has a throwaway gag, and he's like, "Hey, Loki here. Remember me? I was in Dogma. That was years before Tom Hiddleston swiped my name." And so I thought that was funny.
Yeah, and he plays the Angel of Death in this movie. That's basically who he is.
Former Angel of Death. And there hasn't been an Angel of Death since he got fired.
Exactly. I used to like the director, and now he's just a dumbass douchebag that runs his mouth like all celebrity. Yeah, now. But this was 1999, so we can go back in time 25 years ago. But I think Scotty actually still likes him somehow.
Somehow? Yeah. Well, he doesn't really run his mouth. He doesn't really do, I don't know. I didn't see if he did anything in recent months in terms of the election or anything like that. I do agree that he's made some particularly awful movies in his later career. But I loved Clerks 3. I haven't seen the 4:30 movie yet because I heard it was iffy. Didn't like Yoga Hosers. Haven't seen Tusk because it seems too gross. But yeah. Bill, I was just responding to you, sir.
Stop everything, Jill. Expand the angel gift. Is that Rickman? Yes. That is Alan Rickman. I put him in the corner.
Well, do you have...
Jedi Bill, I just read your chat that I read this chat out loud. If you rewind the stream, I read it.
So we're good.
Everybody.
We should be good.
I'm pretty sure everybody heard me read this chat. So that is not true.
Here, and the black on a secondary level.
I know what it is. Let's play.
So these are basically some fallen angels who just they're out of luck because of circumstances, and they're they have to spend all eternity in
Wisconsin.
And they like to visit the airport.
Well, because Bartleby is he a watcher? Guess what he does? He's like an Elorian, basically. And he likes to go to the airport so that he can see people mask their indiscretions, if you will.
Yeah, because he knows. I guess he's like, well, also like Santa Claus. He knows what's
Kind of.
doing. He knows everybody's secrets. Gorilla,
Yes.
Lemon Pie says, Gorilla, well, yeah, you had a lot of trolling on your election stream too, as expected. Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
You're totally fine, Bill. Don't worry about it. I read your chat and we talked about it, I'm pretty sure. Joe's Atmosphere says the best Kevin Smith movie ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
High praise.
Yes.
High praise.
Very good. Very good. Can you watch this film as a standalone or do you need to watch the other films?
No, you can watch it as a standalone.
No, yeah, you could totally watch this as a standalone. They're all just because they're all in the same Kevin Smith universe. What did you call it?
The Askew-niverse.
Okay, and you don't need to watch them all together.
No, but I recommend watch every movie that has Jay and Silent Bob in it.
Okay. He says, Greek letter says they're not fallen angels, they're old school. Yeah, that's right. If they were fallen, they wouldn't have their wings, but they're not in heaven. Like they're banished still. They didn't quite go to. They weren't necessarily sent all the way to hell. They were sent in between, I guess. So.
Well, Wisconsin.
I don't know what. There's something.
Good to see you, Joe's Atmosphere. Standalone.
They can't go to paradise anyway.
Well, and that's so funny. It's like when the end of time occurs, they will have to sit outside of the pearly gates for all of eternity. Like there's a bench.
Well, hopefully there's a bench if you've got to sit there for the whole time. Otherwise, you're just sitting where?
On clouds, I guess.
I'm just on clouds. I guess at least it's soft. There's more than one Dogma. No. There's not more than one Dogma movie. There's only one Dogma movie. There's just multiple Kevin Smith movies, and so that are supposed to all take place in the same reality.
Yes. If you do have the opportunity, though, I would recommend all of the Jay and Silent Bob movies.
It's the YouTube lag. Oh, it's a lag. Have to give you a little hard time. Okay.
Well, and that's the thing, Bill.
There's
like it's awesome. You got to bust chops sometimes. That's how you know that we're good shit.
Well, and it does also make me question what's going on. Also, nature of my own.
But what else is new?
That's true. The poem, The Walrus and the Carpenter. Okay, so that is actually how this movie begins. It's Loki causing mischief already with a nun trying to disrupt her faith by using a children's poem.
And from Alice in Wonderland, right?
Yes. And yeah, so
I love this response though from Bartleby. And he's like, you know, there is a God. You have been in his presence, and yet, and then yet you claim to be an atheist. And then Loki's just, I'm gonna sing along with this movie because I really love it. And he's like, yeah, but I just love fucking with the clergy.
And I was surprised how quickly that worked. This little Lewis Carroll shook her faith enough for a little while, at least. I don't know how long it'll last. Joe's Atmosphere says, you'd really recommend Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back? Yuck, it was horrible.
See, I disagree. I got to see that in a preview screening when it was released. I adore the Askew-niverse. And so if it's not to your taste, that's fine. I love Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I love Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. Actually, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot did more for physical media than most in terms of a low budget movie that was released, and I think it was Lionsgate when they distributed it. They were like, you can make any movie you want as long as it gets those DVD sales. So, yeah, I do. I love it. Cardinal Glick, there's our man. There's Brian O'Halloran, better known as Dante Hicks. He's not even supposed to be here today.
Well, he doesn't spend too much time in the movie.
Well, he does get killed.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. He gets a good death scene. That's usually what an actor wants.
It's pretty terrifying.
But then we get our main idea of the movie is that they realize they can get back to heaven if they go to this archway, make themselves human again, and walk through it, and then die. And yeah, I know. I guess I had to figure out how to die.
I don't want to die.
You'd rather hang around here?
Does it hurt? Just as easy
It's
as
just
falling
like
asleep.
falling asleep. So, yeah. So basically, that's their trick into getting back into heaven, and so they think this is a great plan.
Well,
They're
and again,
banished,
it does.
And now they don't have to be anymore.
It does incorporate Catholic dogmatic law. I think it was one of the last. And again, most of my knowledge of Catholicism is based on this movie. So if I get things wrong, you are allowed to tell me. If there isn't a movie about it, you people don't know anything, which is true. But yeah, so plenary indulgence bestowed from Jesus to the first pope is that whatever law is bestowed upon man by the pope will be agreed upon in heaven. That's plenary indulgence. And that is how it is the bastardization of the will of God that makes it so that these two chuckleheads can circumvent the will of God. It is man's fault, not God's fault.
And so if it's man's fault and not God's fault, then why is all of existence in peril?
Because of the bestowing of that trust upon man in terms of upholding the will of God. And if that misinterpretation occurs, then you get dogma.
Okay. Joe's Atmosphere says, yes, that angel is Alan Rickman. He plays the Metatron, the voice of God. And he's too damn funny. He is. He's
Absolutely
hilarious. Every scene he's in, he's either hilarious or there's one scene where it's really, really sweet. And okay. Oh, I'm so glad you want to become a member, though. That means a lot to me, Jedi Bill. I mean, Outlaw Bill. I promise I'll get your name right eventually. The more you show up, I'll get you right, Outlaw Bill. There's fraudulent charges on your card. That's terrible news. That is awful. I hope you get that cleared up soon.
Is that because I bought a She-Hulk?
Oh, well, thank you for contributing to Scotty R37 She-Hulk.
I did not fraudulently steal your card, Bill.
Well, okay. And also Loki is super excited about this. He thinks it's his chance to go on a killing spree.
Yeah.
And including some executives who work for the movie corporation with the imagery of the golden calf. So of course the first commandment is you should look no other god should come before me.
Yes. See you, Joe. Joe's Atmosphere has
Oh, Joe's got to go. Okay,
thank you for being here and knowing the movie.
Yeah, I was glad to see you here. Hope you have a wonderful Friday.
Mm-hmm. What better way to get back in God's good graces than doling out some good old-fashioned Old Testament justice?
That's what it is because that's from the era in which he's come from. So that makes sense. He wants to rain fire and brimstone.
Yes.
Loki isn't worried because there's a weird flip in this movie with Loki. Loki being the one that seems to be the outlandish one at first, because he wants he thinks that even if wanting to take these lives is the wrong choice, that all they have to do is pass through the archway and they'll be clean, their sins will be cleaned anyway. So that's one of those big arguments in religion. Can your faith wipe out the evil of whatever bad things you've done? And
But that's also like later on, Bartleby he goes crazy and says,
yes,
"You'll get your
that's
body
the flip.
count." And Loki says, "I can't kill anybody if they haven't done anything wrong."
Right. If they're innocent, he doesn't want to kill them.
Exactly. Unless, there is a
They
tipping
forget to
point
say
because
bless you.
someone doesn't say God bless you when they sneeze.
I think it was at first I thought, whoa, would he really do that? But then after I saw the whole movie, I'd say no, he wasn't really going to do that. He was just
You're getting off light.
getting I think he was just getting a little more rambunctious. I don't think he was going to kill her.
Well, yeah, no, it was a murder boner.
Mm. There it is.
But by the way, I absolutely adore Ben Affleck and Matt Damon in this movie. Obviously, Good Will Hunting is better, but this is second to that.
Yes, Good Will Hunting is better. But
I like how they establish that it is Wisconsin by showing as many Green Bay Packers things as they can. Just cheeseheads everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've never seen a cheese clock before. Outlaw Bill says,
nice.
I still love Mallrats and Chasing Amy and Jersey Girl and, of course, Clerks 1 and 2.
And just to round that out, I love Clerks 3. Oh. And I know now that Joe's atmosphere is gone, I do both. I love both the Jay and Silent Bob movies, Strike Back and Reboot.
That doesn't make them any good.
Well, whatever. Come on.
Illinois.
I just watched 8 Harry Potter movies and I had nothing but nice things to say. And now we're going to watch one of my favorite movies and all you're going to do is coil one off on its chest?
What? We're not talking about Clerks 3.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about Dogma.
That's
I
true.
always thought this confessional BS was such a cop-out for arseholes, says Franco Walker. Yeah, and that's why I do think it's super silly that just walking through the arch is going to clean your sins.
Yeah, but also forgive me, Father, for I have sinned is kind of the same deal, but for humans.
Right.
And so with the idea that you will be cleansed of all sins by walking into the church at the rededication is similar to a confessional. And like I was raised Protestant, and it was one of those things where my parents were like, oh, Catholics, they can do whatever they want. And then all they have to do is go to confessional and everything's fine. So it's interesting to hear that perspective coming from a Catholic.
That simple. Yeah. It doesn't feel like it should be that simple. I guess it would depend on, like, if you're doing something without any remorse while you're doing it and you're kind of just like,
yeah, but going to confessional is a sign of remorse. Your soul.
Maybe.
Well, that's what I understood from it. But again, I was raised by heathens.
It's supposed to be, but it depends. But I guess that's why we also have the rule of law. So, if it's a bad enough sin, you're going to go to prison.
Yeah, exactly. You can't kill somebody.
So forget about.
Yeah, step out of the confessional booth and be like,
I guess Franco Walker, he assumed something, and that's not true.
I'm not calling you a Catholic. I wouldn't.
I
I
was
don't know.
when I
I
was
don't know
younger.
anybody's denominations. I'm just here to talk about the move.
I was Catholic when I was younger, but like I said, this is alternate universe
Yeah.
Catholic. So
Well, it's
so
interpretive.
it's a completely different religion, even though it has the same name. I hate Clerks 3. It screws up 1 and 2. And I didn't find it woke,
I didn't think it was
but
woke.
I think it wasn't. I don't think it was that good.
I love it. I've watched it, I
didn't
think,
like
at
it.
least 8 times.
And
I know
it's
you're
just not any-
disappointed.
It's
in
not
me.
even.
It's
It's not
fine.
even. It's not funny.
What are you talking about? It's not funny. The only thing is that Randall's too much of a dick. I wish that Randall had died instead of Dante.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then everybody having heart attacks and coming back to life. That's just weird.
Yeah, but I still liked it. What? I did.
You can commit the most
See?
heinous acts, but as long as you love Jesus and repent, you're going to heaven.
Oh, here's the lady, the last scion. Bethany Sloan, played
Yes.
by the talented and gorgeous Linda Fiorentino. You may remember her from such films as Jade or Men in Black. She is fantastic. I do not appreciate her performance in this film particularly. She seems tired and bored and sad throughout the movie, and I wish she had a little bit more pep. But
yeah, and
we
after you
will.
told me that, even though I tried to imagine the scene with someone who had more energy, and that is something you do put in the back of your head when you're given that option.
And we get to see Janine Garofalo is in this movie. I have such a swelling in my soul for that woman. I've always enjoyed Janine Garofalo. And Bill, speaking of woke, that chick is. But that doesn't change the fact that I adore her art. And in the audio commentary for this movie, Kevin Smith says, if only we had Janine Garofalo play Bethany, this would have been so much better. And I agree.
Mhm.
Still love the movie. Would have been better with Janine Garofalo in a heftier role.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch a lot of Janine Garofalo movies to know
There
how
she
I
is.
feel about her.
So if you go back one,
Yeah.
no, not that one.
I
the one with
can't.
the
I
sign
can't
and
go back
Janine.
only one. I have to go back wherever the video lets me go back and then play it forward.
Okay. There you go. What did your unborn child ever do to you? I believe this was outside of polling stations on Tuesday. I'm sorry, I don't want to be too topical, but I thought that was pretty funny. But that's Janine right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and they introduced the whole pro-life, pro-choice thing by they're having a softball game between one and the other.
Well, and the irony and the juxtaposition of having a descendant of Jesus work at a Planned Parenthood clinic.
She doesn't just work at one. Didn't she have one?
No.
No?
She had an infection
Oh, she couldn't.
in her
Oh,
uterus.
that's right. Okay. She didn't. Okay. She had an infection, and that's what it was.
Oh, I like this. Franco. Jesus died for your sins. Therefore, if you don't sin, he died for nothing. Well, Franco, I will let you know I've sinned twice today.
Not straight to. Okay.
Lemon says, not straight to heaven necessarily. There is purgatory. That's Catholic teaching. If you haven't rejected God but need to pay for sins before heaven, can you pay for your sins in purgatory, though? I don't know. Hey, there he is.
Isn't it just like a waiting room?
I don't think it's just a waiting room. I think purgatory is actually kind of a punishment. But I do enjoy Jason Lee plays Azrael.
I like him too.
He's a fallen muse. I've always wanted, and I know I say this all the time, but I've always wanted to do an Azrael Halloween costume, just because I love the white suit and the horns and the hat.
I like it. That is a very good Halloween costume.
Yeah.
Be a demon.
So I have a year.
Yeah. All right. And well, let's see if there's something on that. I want to see I'm trying to learn stuff as I'm going along, and so that's why I'm taking a little extra time.
No, you're good. You're good. Hey, Jim's Landscape is here. Hey, Commodore.
Hello, Jim's Landscape.
Jimmy. It's good to see you, sir. Franco's going for a cuppa. And Outlaw Bill says Linda Fiorentino was in the film Vision Quest. I've never seen Vision Quest.
Well, anyway, he needs this house as a headquarters, so he kills this lady.
Yes.
And the major quote for this one was, where is it?
You got the clip? No.
Oh, no, I don't have any clips. I have
Okay.
a couple, but they're for the end, and that's
Okay.
it.
All right.
Oh, I completely missed something from the last scene.
What, getting filled?
Oh yeah, getting that. Yes, actually, yes, getting filled. This is actually something I needed to talk about. And
okay.
But also, they make a joke about Jews killing Jesus, so I just wanted to remind everybody that is a complete myth. He was killed by Romans who were pagans at the time, so that was it was something that was perpetuated for a while and then cleared up later, but some people forgot to get it cleared up. But a lot of people around this time were making these jokes, so it's not just Kevin Smith.
No, it was funny. If you want to just some behind the scenes of this stream, I got a message from you, Jill.
You did.
And Jews didn't kill Jesus. I thought the only people who believed this was Mel Gibson and Cartman. I hate this movie. You didn't say you hate the movie. And I was like, holy shit.
I hadn't warmed up to it yet at that point.
Yes. Yeah. I think that you remembered this movie more fondly than you actually like it.
Mm-hmm. I think
then
that's
when we
possible.
got into it, you were like, "Oh Jesus," pun intended.
Well, but then there's another underlying theme on top of all of the religion and stuff. There's this continuing theme throughout the movie that, on top of religion, you need sex, and so sex should be something like, and that. I don't think it's necessarily saying one can be a replacement for the other, but it's something that is repeated throughout as as Loki trying to convince the nun to go find a man and steal the money she was raising for her parish to go get a date. and as Bethany's friend is trying to convince her to also get laid. So I skipped over I also skipped over the discussion in the elevator that Loki would have intercourse if he had a penis, which is a thing in this movie. Angels are without genitals, and I'm trying to figure out exactly what Kevin Smith's trying to say with all of these references to sexuality as it pertains to religion in general or Catholicism in specifics, where a lot of the people in that faith do become celibate.
I think that Kevin Smith is the first person on the planet to say that his movies are based upon dick and fart jokes.
Yeah, and that's
And
all
mixing
it is.
it,
Am I trying to think too much about it?
yeah, mixing theology and dick and fart jokes, I think, is what makes it funnier.
Okay.
Like, don't forget that there is an apocalypse that happens at the end, and Jay has his pants
Yes.
around his ankles saying, "I thought we were gonna make with the love." Make with the
That's
love?
true.
Yeah, it's a nice way of saying fucking. Like,
Okay.
a lot of my sense of humor, as everyone knows, for good or ill, we had a conversation about this on your members stream. I was informed by Dennis Miller and Kevin Smith. These are two people who taught me that it was okay to be sarcastic and it was okay to say cock and balls.
Well, but it depends on what the context is. If you're going to
Nope.
mention sex or something, I need to know why it's important or what relevance it pertains to the story that we're experiencing. And so
Well,
if there's no meaning behind it, why are we talking about it?
because it's funny.
Oh,
Because it's fun, Jan. Get it.
I guess these demons think it's fun to kill people with hockey sticks. And
Yeah.
but
Well,
then
and I
he
forget.
turns up the air conditioner.
Because he was in hell. Of course he
I
knows.
know. I know.
What do we got?
A
So,
baseball bat.
Oh, you mean that fish? Behold the Metatron, the one and true voice of God, or the voice of the one true God. Yes.
And so, oh yeah, and also in that last scene, she's the scion,
Yes.
which means descendant or heir, of which we figure out later is of Jesus Christ. But
Which
not
means she's part
descendant,
black.
but relative. Yeah, right. She's relative to him, even though he's born of God. His mother had a husband who had kids who were
Yes.
his brother.
But we don't get to talk about that until we see Rufus.
Yeah. We'll talk about it more later, but it's mentioned this early. This Bible doesn't say angels were without gender. It says angels mostly had feminine characteristics.
And also in that regard,
Interesting.
if you watch the Keanu Reeves movie Constantine, it does. Oh, what is it? Archangel Gabriel is played by Tilda Swinton, and Gabriel being presented as a man, played by a woman, and absolutely fantastic. There are so many theological films about sort of Christian theology.
Greek letter says stop everything. Does that mean angels are transgender?
Transgender. No. It means that they don't. What does an angel need to do with genitals? Why does God need a starship?
Turn to Jim's later to see if he takes my wrench or not.
I don't know. I don't even know if I need a wrench. Do I have a wrench? I don't know. I
You,
have a wrench
you need
here.
one here.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get one at other places too.
I know, and I don't know why.
Like, I think you have one at Canadian Spider-Man's, but yes, we're at Bethany's bedroom where she's visited upon by an angel, the Metatron, who speaks for God, played by Alan Rickman. This is where I start giggling. Like, this scene is perfect. I love it very much. Alan Rickman basically is just fantastic.
Yes.
But he sets it basically looks like he's setting her room ablaze and then is offended that she puts him out with a fire extinguisher. It's completely hilarious.
Yes.
And I love it. And even though
but think about how Moses was approached by God. That was the burning bush.
The burning bush.
Yeah.
Well, but yeah, it does make sense. But at least he's approaching a burning bush in the middle of like the desert on a mountain or something, and it's not as jarring as having your bedroom.
Bedroom engulfed in flame. Yes.
Yeah, that's
Sweet
there's a bit of a
Jesus! Did you have to use the whole can?
difference. You're gonna have to read these for me.
Well, no.
Who the
Just the ones that I like.
well, this is one I like, and you already said it.
Hit me with that. Oh, he's so good. I wish he were alive.
Me too.
But he gave us so much, and I appreciate everything he did. I'm as anatomically impaired as a kendo.
All of his lines
Ladies and
are
gentlemen, this is
perfect.
going to be
His
line
delivery.
readings.
Well, I do. Basically, all my notes are line readings.
Good. Great. I'll see if I can help when I can.
And so
See,
he
Kyle
has
was-
to explain.
Yes.
He has to explain what who Metatron is, because if there's no movie about it, it's not worth knowing, is it?
Yeah.
And that's the quote that I have right in the corner.
Yes. Now, these were practical wings. They were made. And I'm not sure if they were mixed and matched with Affleck, Matt Damon, and Alan Rickman, but apparently they were like incredibly expensive, and they didn't work all the time. But no, these were practical effects, and apparently they threw out Alan Rickman's back.
And then the Metatron gets thrown off the Nakatomi Plaza. Sorry, wrong movie again.
Yes.
Actually, that's how Scotty convinced me to review this movie. He wanted to review it, but I only agreed because Alan Rickman's in it.
Yes.
And we
This
just
is all
did Harry
true.
Potter, so I wanted to keep talking about him. And so, any documented occasion when some Yahoo claims that God has spoken to them, they're speaking to me. Or they're talking to themselves. Oh,
Source
But,
code. Sweet. I am a
that's-
seraphim, the highest order of angel.
Yep. Yep, because humans cannot listen to God's true voice without, exploding, I guess.
Yes. They can't withstand the awesome power of God's voice. How about
She wants more proof, and so, I just like his style. They go to a Mexican restaurant she's never been to, even though it's right down her street.
Yes.
And he knows where to get the good tequila.
And one empty glass.
Yeah, because he's got to throw up the tequila.
Well, no, he just has to spit it
It's
out.
kind of like going to a wine tasting.
Kind of. Well, because when Loki quit, he did it when he was wasted. And God said, okay, that's it. No more angels can get drunk anymore.
Yeah, he ruined it for everybody, apparently.
He ruined it for everybody.
So, how about tequila?
Hang on a second. Greek letters says, in the Bible, angels did have progenies with mortals. And Lemon Pie says, that's based on a common misinterpretation, Greek letters. And Greek letters says,
Really?
What's a common misinterpretation? That Metatron gets thrown off the Nakatomi Plaza?
I would
You
like
guys
to
are
hear
awesome.
more. It's a good conversation happening.
Yeah.
While the Metatron is giving a holy crusade to Bethany. She's confused why this is happening to her. She works in an abortion clinic.
Yes. And who am I? The girl in the jammies. Stop asking so many questions and serve your purpose.
But basically, all she has to do is stop those angels from sneaking their way back into heaven through the archway. Because if she doesn't, all existence will be destroyed
Undone.
or undone. Yeah.
Yes. Which
Mhm.
does, and I guess that's part of the reason why Linda Fiorentino does play this character the way that she does, is because she is like a sorely depressed woman. Like in terms of what had happened to her, and she does question. It is a crisis of faith where she says, okay, so when I was happily married and I had an infection that destroyed my uterus and couldn't have babies anymore, where was God? Why didn't God help me then? And when confronted with an actual angel, it's like, so you're not gonna help you? What?
Right.
You're not gonna help?
She didn't just lose the ability to make life. She lost her husband also, who wanted somebody to make
Oh,
a
and
family with.
Bartleby is such a dick about it too. Hey, Retro Nerd Girl is here.
Oh, Retro Nerd Girl is here. I love this movie so much. No pressure,
Nice.
Retro Nerd Girl, but if you'd like to join us, you're more than welcome. I'll send you the link, but if you can't be on, that's okay too. I like just having you in the chat also.
Will you excuse me for just 1 second? It's not furnace time, but I just have to go and use the water closet.
It's not furnace time. You
Remember,
are
I have a
doing-
furnace guy,
Oh,
but it's not that. I just have to go to the loo.
okay.
Thank you. I appreciate your permission.
Well, I'll be here. I was just sending a link to Retro Nerd Girl if she can. And well, yeah, and so she's just being given. We get a little backstory on Bartleby too, about his work as the Angel of Death. He was there for lots of different occasions. The one that Bethany recognizes was the 10th plague, and Rickman says, "Tell a person that you're the metronome," and they stare at you blankly. Mention something out of a Charleston Heston movie, and suddenly everybody's a theology scholar. And so because Loki was killing all these people through the wrath of God, he meets a friend. He meets Bartleby, who convinces him to quit. And since he quit, both of them get sent out of heaven, but not they're not sent to hell, where they're sent to, apparently. Alan Rickman says it's worse, Wisconsin. Oh, yeah, a few moments would be amazing. Whenever you can. And no, not the Chopped King's James translation. Okay, wait, what did I miss? I missed something from Greek letters. All right. Oh, hey, Devil Flyer Momentum's also here. Hello, Devil Flyer. Wonderful to see you. You haven't read your Bible, have you, Lemon Pie? Examine the holy texts, and the truth shall liberate you, says Greek letters. And welcome to the panel, Retro Nerd Girl. I didn't know if you'd be able to make it on, but I'm so glad to see you.
Oh,
How are
hi.
you doing? Yeah,
I'm good.
hello.
I'm sorry. I had like an inception moment where I had the play going on and you as well. Hi. Oh my God. How are you?
I'm doing so well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just doing some work and editing and all the things I have to do on Friday. But definitely, you're talking about one of my favorite movies. It's been a while though since I've seen it, and
But it's a
haven't.
pretty simple plot to go through.
Yeah, and it's also it's got certain key moments, but I've been trying to get a hold of this movie forever, and I was having such trouble, and then the last couple of months, it seems like something happened, and now it's on YouTube, for free on YouTube on YouTube Premium.
Oh, it's for free. That's great. That's good news. I think something happened. It got freed up from something. There was something that was freed up about it. I think when Scotty comes back, he can tell us the details on that.
Oh, okay, yeah, because it's really fascinating. Because this is a movie I've always wanted to kind of dive deep on and like pull it apart because it's super fascinating to me. Um, and I think I caught it like a couple of times on regular television, and then like ages and ages ago, and then I was I may have caught it like one other time where I could record it, the old way of recording VCR, the
Oh, on a
VCR.
VHS tape.
Yeah. And I got
Oh.
some of it, but I never got a chance to like actually do like a nice watch through, and because it just wasn't available, which is a shame.
Mhm.
Which is, you can't do that to a
Yeah,
movie like this.
that's true, especially when, yeah, like a movie like this definitely needs to be shared, and I'm glad that you found it.
Yeah. This is great. I'm so glad you're talking about it.
Yeah.
What
Well,
part are you up
definitely.
to?
Well, I'm at the part where she's being given her mission to stop the angels from destroying all of existence by trying to get back into heaven after they've been cast out. And
Oh, yeah. Linda is
and
so
and
good in this.
apparently that does that because there's supposed to be a principle that God is infallible, and to prove him wrong undoes reality. So is all of reality that weak? Hey, welcome back.
They're called Watchers. I wonder what they do. Hey, Retro.
Hi, Scotty. How are ya?
I'm great.
Well, I just slide it in here for a few moments, and I can hang out for a little bit, and I'll do more of the listening because it's been a while since I've seen this film, and it's but it's really good. It's so good.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, and now
And
is a good time to bring up as any. For the longest time, the distribution of this movie was in question because Harvey Weinstein, you know that guy, he's a dick. He
Oh.
owned the rights to it for the longest time. And so the Blu-ray and the DVD for this film have been nearly well, not impossible, but
there's your
very
answer.
expensive. Very expensive. And it's not available on streaming. You can see it on YouTube. It's available for free on YouTube if you haven't seen it before. But another distribution company apparently just reacquired the rights and is working with Kevin Smith on releasing sometime in 2025. From what I heard, they're going to be releasing another physical media and hopefully streaming
Oh my
availability as well.
goodness. That is great news.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Because
So it's free.
man,
Yeah. But again, one of my favorite things is part of the reason why I have so many Kevin Smith movies is that you can watch the Kevin Smith movies and enjoy them incredibly. And then you get to listen to the audio commentaries, and they are stellar. All of them. If you are a fan and you don't mind hearing about the behind the scenes, but he usually has the cast. I think it was on Chasing Amy or Mallrats. You can hear Jay Muse like literally fall asleep drunk. It's like watching a Robert Meyer Burnett stream. I kid.
Well,
oh man, I really would love to see a commentary like that because yeah, he is quite descriptive. He knows how to tell a story, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He's excellent, like live, just improving a story. And I would love to hear whatever he had to say, because there's so many like really great actors and comedians in this, and it's like one right after another, and really they put together like really unique performances. Um, like Alan Rickman. I mean, how did he get Alan Rickman in this movie? It's like another like question. And Ben Affleck and Matt Damon are just amazing in this. They both have like incredible monologues. I mean, Ben Affleck's monologue, I really never paid attention to him as an actor until that monologue. I was like, ooh,
Mhm.
wow.
Is that the parking lot
in the
scene?
parking, yeah, in the parking
Yes.
garage. Yeah.
That blew my mind. I was like, oh, look at who's this again?
Yeah,
I had
that's
to
a really
take
good twist.
Yeah, and he was excellent in it. Like the whole time he's playing things, very, like, hey, you don't have to go that hardcore. Come on, calm down. And then at that he loses it, and it's just like beautiful. And of course, that's Kevin Smith's writing. He, he has those moments of like absolute brilliance when he gets right to that like monologuing. And there, even in Chasing Amy, there's quite a few moments where I'm like, wow, this is excellent writing. Just day to day writing characters and their conversations. And so yeah, that was amazing. I For just that scene alone, it's incredible. There's so many like hilarious, not only just hilarious, but amazing scenes in this movie.
Yeah.
Definitely. And
Well,
it doesn't slow down in any point either.
Oh no.
and it is in, I think it's in, well, it's one of the commentaries, and it might be Chasing Amy, where Kevin says about Ben Affleck, he's like, Ben Affleck is the best actor I've ever seen in my entire life. If I were to remake Jaws, I would cast him as the shark, because that man could do anything.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, he's actually really good. I think it's about I mean, I haven't seen him suck in anything really. I've seen the things that he's done, like some of the stuff around. I never did see Jiggly, whatever that is.
Yeah, I've
Jiggly.
never seen Geely either.
But on the most part, he's pretty solid in everything that he's been in.
Have you seen Jersey Girl?
Oh boy, no.
Oh, well, no, Jersey Girl is actually quite good. It took me a long time to watch it, and when
Okay.
I finally did, it's quite touching. It's quite
Okay.
good.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely not a movie that I usually. I mean, just the title alone, I was like, okay, cool. And I just was kept going. 'Cause, but since your endorsement, I will take a look at it.
Well, I'm a big George Carlin fan, and he does such a good job in that movie, and Ben Affleck, and like I think that the movie is underappreciated simply because it came out right after Geely, and it had a bit of a stink of the J Lo. What was it? What is it when J Lo and Ben Affleck get together? What is that called? The Bennifer. Bennifer.
Oh God.
Well, George Carlin is in this movie too, and one of the things I forgot to mention was, unfortunately, he had just lost his wife before this movie, and so when they asked him if he would be in it, he said yes, but to play the cardinal, I need to wear a Band-Aid over my wedding ring because I'm not quite ready to take it off yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought, yeah.
He's so good. George Carlin in anything, I'll take it.
Well, and because he was such an avowed atheist, when Kevin Smith asked him to play a cardinal, he was like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he plays it up really well.
Yeah.
What's the deal with the duo dudes? I think I've seen another movie with them. Is it a perpetual movie meme?
The duo dudes? Are you talking about Jay and Silent Bob?
Oh, yes. That makes more sense now that you say it like that. Yes, they are in several different movies. They're all in the same universe.
Hey, the Padawannabe
show
is
up.
here.
Yeah, and he also says this is one of my favorite films. It's so different and off the wall. I lost a movie in a breakup. I haven't seen this in years. And Franco Walker says, for some reason, I find commentaries boring. I've listened to quite a lot of them.
I understand, Franco. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but I have always adored audio commentaries. In fact, I probably have a bunch of movies that I love that I haven't yet watched the audio commentary for, and I cannot wait. And yet
And the Padawannabe has a contention with you. Excuse me, it's Jenny Ben. Of course, her name would come first.
Yeah.
And
well, it is Jenny from the block.
Speaking of the duo, they come to the rescue, saving Bethany from the demon monsters. I don't really know what they are.
No, they're
just like teenagers.
Monsters. Yes.
They look like teenagers.
And oh my stars. I'm Jay, and this is my hetero life mate, Silent Bob.
Yes. Oh man.
So rad.
They're here to pick
little
up
man.
girls.
Put that shit in my hand. If the
and so and also the angels are looking for some a good weapon to do the killing spree that Loki is excited to go on to destroy those who are full of sin and need to be destroyed, I suppose. And
that is that's crazy.
I love that. So, any idiot with a book of matches can start some fires. Raining down sulfur is kind of different. You know, mass genocide is one of the most difficult things that you can possibly do next to soccer.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, and the gun itself was called the fecalator.
Yes.
One look at it.
He or she will instantly shit their pants. Greek letters, I was whistling from the Perry Como song, Magic Moments, which is in this scene where Jay and Silent Bob are in that fucked up bar because he's Han, Bob is Chewie, and Bethany is Ben Kenobi.
Yeah, she was just going to leave, but then she remembered that there were supposed to be prophets that are going to lead her to where she needs to go. And
I love how she says, "Do you guys believe in God?" And they both stand up and I'll yell rape. We'll pay you. Pay?
Right. Well, and they think that they're going to get sex in return for saving her life.
Yes. Yes.
And Jay is under the delusion the entire movie that she's his girlfriend, like because she.
I fell in love with you. We fell in love with you.
Oh man.
Yeah, and it doesn't die at any point. But she just wants to go to New Jersey, and somehow it works out.
Oh, Padawannabe has my back. I'm so happy. $15, little man. Put that shit in my hand. If that money doesn't show, then you owe me, owe me, owe. That jungle love. Oh, we, oh, we, oh. Thank you, Padawannabe. I have just wasted everyone's time, but you made me very happy.
No, that was actually very helpful. I needed some time because I had already discussed this scene. And you already mentioned the Star Wars bit. That's right.
Yeah. Maybe it's because he put that in my head. Maybe he elicited my response to thinking that this was a Star Wars comparison.
Oh, it's either sexual favors or a sandwich. She could have made them a sandwich. Oh, I didn't think about that. That's a lot easier.
Lunchbox here would love one.
And so okay, so they destroy her car because they don't know how to drive a stick.
Yeah. Which is great. And but we go I think we cut away. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, we cut away. We do to Bart and Loki on a bus.
Really? You're just gonna call him Bart?
Bartleby? Bartleby.
No, I'm fine with Bart. I just never even thought of that. That is really good.
I was thinking it in the entire movie, even though it's really Bartleby from Herman Melville, from that story, that short story, where he has some kind of job, and then eventually he decides not to do what he's told and just say, I would prefer not to, and I forget what else happens, but that's where his name comes from. What's the deal with Americans not knowing how to drive with the gearbox?
Oh, Greek letters. I learned I learned how to drive stick in Canada, but when it was really put to the test, I was hired as a delivery driver in Australia. So not only did I have to learn how to drive stick, but I had to drive stick on the wrong side. Well, the right side if you're in Australia. And so, yeah, no, I know how. Stop yelling at me. I love this. Didn't you lose a bet with me as to which was going to be the bigger movie, E.T. or Crush Groove?
I don't even know what Crush
time
Groove
will tell.
is.
It's a breakdancing movie, I think.
It's fantastic.
Oh, okay. Well,
There
it's
was a song to go with it. I would sing it, but I would just destroy your ears. So. I think that Sheila E. was in it. I think Crush Groovin', yeah.
All right, we got to. That's it. Retro, you got to do Crush Groove.
Apparently, and then determine if it has more staying power than E.T.
Time will tell. Time will tell.
And this is just basically an introduction to Loki's
bloodlust,
wrath of bloodlust. Yeah, definitely. His wrath.
Well, God's wrath. He's performing.
Yeah.
And I do love that after he kills that guy, and it's only one shot. It's only one shot, and then the bus pulls over and everybody escapes from the bus, and then Loki's whose house? Run's house. I said, whose house? Mine. So awesome. The best exit of a bus I've ever seen in my entire life. Better than Speed.
Better than Speed, no.
All right. Maybe I went too far. I love it. And this is like, and again, I sort of brought up how Linda Fiorentino seems unenthused throughout the movie, but maybe it's because they're on location. Maybe it's because she hates Jason Mewes. Nobody is fucking me. I love that line delivery so much.
Yeah. I think it played well with the movie itself because she's, just her character in general. She is a fish out of water, just kind of flapping around, trying to figure out what's happening and how she could be important in all this. And so I think her unhappiness with the movie or people in the movie. It helped her stage performance, I think. You know,
I think
her
so too.
screen
It's
performance.
I think so too because it's someone who's lost faith, is disillusioned with everything, and is suddenly told how important she is to everything she thought wasn't, stopped believing in. And now she's got to reconsider that. Skull of
Yeah.
Calderon's Minion is here. Whoa, okay.
Ahoy.
Nice
Awesome
guy.
movie. Yeah. Yeah,
Isn't it great?
definitely it definitely gives you a lot to think about. Like you said, to unpack it, I don't even think I am going to do that as much justice as it deserves.
Mm.
Well, we are
Yeah,
going to
it,
get
it's
Chris
gonna
Rock
take some.
falling from out of the sky. But go ahead.
Yeah, it is gonna take some time because with movies like this, you want to see it a few times. You want to sit on it a little bit, and then watch it a few more times after that, just to let it all process and come up with like different theories of what could be like behind the scenes. Because there's a lot. I mean, it is a simple story of events, but it's also like all of these crazy characters that just sort of show up, like this character.
Yeah, he just shows up, and
Yeah.
this time it's not an angel. This time it's just someone from heaven who happened to be an unknown apostle
Yeah.
of Jesus Christ who got cut out of the Bible.
And of course, Chris Rock's tone is just like he yells everything. It's just like
Well, everything always seems
so
like a big
funny.
deal when he's talking about it.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
not
yes.
undead. I am dead.
It's not a joke.
It's perfect. I really wish Chris and Kevin did some more work together. That would have been kind of an interesting duo.
Well, he did. He was
Yes.
in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back as
Oh, yeah.
Chuckaluther King.
Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah, I did see that.
And we have excised it from your memory. Yes.
Well, no, it was actually it's good. I actually love that movie. I love even the sequel that they made.
Yeah, me too. No, I think the first one and the second one, I
was-
guess by extension, is it is a vulgar Muppet movie.
Excellently said. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I
DJ
mean, I don't know all of Oh, hey, DJ Knight.
Hey,
DJ Knight, and also hello to Lance from the Outcast Creative. If you're still here, I saw
Lance.
you in the chat, and I want to make sure
Oh,
that I
Lance.
did say hello.
Lance, hi,
He's in-
Lance.
Yeah. And what do you do? They got a black man out of the Bible.
Oh man,
I
yeah,
wouldn't be
he was
surprised.
so good in this.
But I love, and
was.
again, it's the gravitas that Rock brings to it.
Yeah.
He's like, you're getting this good shit, but then all of a sudden you find out it's from a black man. Black man can steal your stereo, but he can't be the savior of humanity.
Yeah, he's funny.
It's
Yeah,
the
he's funny.
juxtaposition. It's turning your beliefs on its ear. I really enjoy it. Oh, by the
Mhm.
way, Will Smith, don't slap an apostle.
Oh.
Oh, right.
I've chosen to forget, pretend it never happened.
No, I know. I'm trying. You know what? When Chris Rock said forget about it, I've been trying to, but I still hold a little bit of a grudge.
At least
Yeah,
you can
it's
say
hard.
his name now. There was a time where Scotty would not even say the words.
I
Will Smith
wouldn't even
together.
say his name.
Oh, wow.
So he's gotten better.
Oh, that's good.
I'm on Chris Rock's side. I love Chris Rock. Pootie Tang.
Mhm. And
I'm
DJ Knight
on
is saying
both
hello
their
to you.
sides.
Actually,
DJ
our
Knight.
Retro Nerd Girl, I'll be glad to see you tomorrow. You doing something tomorrow?
Yes, I'm doing the
Watch party.
watch party for
for-
Batman 1989.
Nice.
Oh.
Yes. I'm doing a couple of the the classics, we're gonna do Edward Scissorhands next
Oh,
week.
Edward
And then,
Scissorhands. That's one of my favorite.
yeah. And then another one we're doing is Ferris Bueller's Day Off afterwards, just before
Hot
we
damn.
get into the holiday season. You know, we want to get.
Oh, but Edward
some-
Scissorhands is a holiday movie to me.
I think so too. I think it is.
And I only have one clip from that movie you're gonna watch tomorrow.
Why are you afraid of flying?
Yes. Well, let me know if you wanted, to hang out with me, any of those days.
Oh, definitely. I think I want to be there for Edward Scissorhand if I
Okay.
can.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, I'll make sure to put you in the flyer and send you a link for
Awesome.
that.
I can't wait.
Yay!
Oh, I'm excited for that. Yes.
You're gonna be on my
What?
channel.
I know I haven't. You've been here so often. I kind of forget. Hey, wait, I haven't been over there yet.
Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna make sure I write that in my book right now.
So you're saying that there is a Batman? I've never heard of this.
I know. It's so weird.
Very, very.
Isn't there also a man bat?
There is a man bat. That's true too.
So Azrael, that's his name.
Azrael.
Azrael. There it is. He's gonna summon the Golgothan on
The Golgothan.
Yeah, on Bethany, because Bethany he's got to destroy her, and he realizes that that they can't do it. So
Yeah. They're useless little minions.
apparently.
So he's playing what we can see as the main bad guy at this
Yes.
point in the story, which is very interesting because, and this is part of the beauty of the story is that we're not aware that there could be any others. We're just worried about this guy.
Yes, we are. Yeah, because he has the horns. It's a little obvious that there's something going on. He's got the kids who are beating people up who look. I thought at first, because I hadn't seen the movie in a while, that he killed the guy at the beginning. That they killed him, but it turns out that they only put him in a coma.
Yes.
Well, and they do say John Doe Jersey.
Yeah.
They want to sort of from the collection plate contribute to his recovery.
Yeah, and that's right. Okay, they did explain it early on,
but we don't know the significance.
I was distracted. Right, exactly.
Hey, chill. What do you call
you
this
wanted
shit?
that clip? Egg movie muffin.
Yes. This is our
Sorry, I
first
didn't get
introduction to
the-
movies.
Oh, it is. This is the introduction to movies. And that it's a franchise. That it's not just a food restaurant. They have movies and TV shows and magazines.
Oh, you remembered the magazine.
I did. And so this is, yeah.
Jesus wasn't white. Jesus was black.
So Rufus is explaining he's the 13th apostle that was cut out of the Bible. And yeah. Well, I don't know. Jesus was black. I always thought he was Middle Eastern, so probably somewhere in between. I don't know.
Well, and I like how they talk about it's like, so who am I? And it's like you're the great grandniece of Jesus Christ. And so she runs away.
Yes.
And then Jay says, so does that mean that Bethany is part black? And I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I don't think that's
walking around
unreasonable.
Jerusalem and could I get laid? Hells no.
Yeah, I really don't think that's unreasonable that Mary had some other kids with Joseph.
Oh yeah, no, this Absolutely. I love that idea. Thinking that Jesus was born without the touch of a man, I get. To think that Mary married Joseph and they never got down, that's just gullibility.
Yeah, you remember those quotes so well. That's pretty
I've
well
seen
done.
this movie so many times. It is like this
Okay,
is the
so how did
closest.
you see it? Because I've been trying to get my hands on this movie, and I haven't been
Well,
able.
I saw it in the theater on opening night,
Oh,
and then I think it was 6 or 7 months later when it finally came out on DVD. I got the 2-disc special edition. And so yeah, it is on my top shelf of physical media collection. It is this is I celebrate the career of Kevin Smith, especially in the Esk universe.
Mm-hmm. And
I almost spent $100 on the Blu-ray, and then I was like, no, you already have the DVD.
yeah, I think I was too obsessed with like Speed and The Matrix and Blade and all. I was like, I didn't. It didn't really hit my radar until like later on. Like it was on television, and I saw it a couple of times. That's the only place I was able to see it was on television for a long time.
And here we have serendipity. Salma Hayek is someone that I didn't bring up in the cast, and I'm
Oh
so
my
happy to see her.
God. Yeah, she was
yes,
so
we'll see
good
more
in
of her.
this.
She was.
Yeah. I don't believe in voodoo.
I didn't get as many of her stripper scenes there, so if you want to
No,
see
that makes sense. That makes sense. Although, and I forget the gentleman's name. He plays the gang leader in the strip club. I want to say his name is Dwight Ewell, but I could be incorrect. And he was Hooper X in Chasing Amy. And yeah, if you haven't seen Chasing Amy, I highly recommend it.
It's really great. I actually reviewed that movie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Was it a member stream or is it a regular one?
Just a regular. Yeah, you could
Cool.
you could type it in and find
Oh,
it.
nice. And sometimes I wonder if you've done a review on something, and I check it to see if you've done it.
Oh.
And
Yeah, I think this was my second movie. Maybe this is the second movie that I saw.
Oh my God. You reviewed this 8 years ago. Chasing Amy, I mean.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 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 And when I saw it and like close to that time, like around like maybe a few months earlier, and I was so blown away about how good it was. And I was like, "Ooh, Kevin Smith, you're a wordsmith." He was just so good.
Who thinks of introducing yourself to a room by cutting onions instead of speaking or something?
The former angel of death, I think.
Yes.
So yeah, if you want to check out Retro's review.
Oh, are you putting that in the chat? Very good.
Why not?
Oh, thank you, guys. That's so good.
That's a good idea. But movie is well. That's interesting that it's the first time we see it because it is introduced here as the golden calf, the idol worshiper or worshiping symbol. And
you and your board are idolaters. You have taken away worship from our Lord.
Yes, they had movies fun time hour. I guess that's a TV show. 2 movies, a library of video cassettes, and theme parks. 2 theme parks, just like there's 2 Disney World and Disneyland.
Really?
Huh? Really? What? Well, I mean, I know there's way more I know there's way more Disney parks than Disney World and Disneyland. I'm just mentioning the ones in the US. But that kind of makes me think of that because it is bi-coastal also. One
Yes.
in Florida and one in California.
But the thing that really sort of tips me, and it may be part of the reason why I had an opinion on J.K. Rowling for a while, is that they say that Mooby the Golden Calf was created by a kindergarten teacher. And I was like, oh, Mooby is Harry Potter.
Oh. Oh, I thought it was. Oh, wow. I went more of a Disney route for that.
No. Well, but also don't forget that a lot of people, there were religious groups that were
Because
upset with Harry Potter because of witchcraft.
Yes.
And they were like, it's satanic.
that's true.
And so that's what I equated it with.
But my I went to a particular pastor who was also upset at Pokemon. So
Oh my
um,
God, but Pokemon is slavery. You trap them in balls.
they're your best friend.
By the way, if anyone wants to clip me saying you trap them in balls, I welcome it.
Oh.
Anyway.
Yeah, moving on. Sorry, I didn't mean
No.
to make a vulgar joke in this vulgar movie.
Oh man.
But J.K. Rowling didn't make any fast food restaurants based on her Harry
Oh,
Potter
come on. You can get a
franchise. She
butterbeer at
could've.
Universal Studios.
Yeah, I know that. That's true. But you know
J.K.
what I
Rowling
mean.
did
You
not
know what I
invent
mean.
the Renaissance Festival. She just endorsed it.
Mm-hmm.
This is okay. So this scene here,
Yes.
first of
Tell us
all,
about it.
again, I think this is a tour de force from Affleck. That gentleman right there was supposed to be played by the aforementioned Harvey Weinstein, and
Oh,
he said,
Lord.
"No, I am not going to play a pedophile rapist in your movie."
It was too real
Digest the
for him.
irony, if you will.
Sorry. That is really funny, actually.
And it is on the audio commentary. He says, he talks about it in the audio commentary, and he says, all right, fine. And then, you know, the history played out as it does.
Man.
Yes, because after he calls movies, idolatry, he then says all of the sins of all of the board members. And,
Mr. Bryce,
lots
Mr.
of
Bryce.
lots of infidelity.
Wow.
Mr. Bryce disowned his gay son. Good for you, Mr. Bryce. Mr. Ray put his mother in a third-rate nursing home and then used the profits to purchase an Oriental rug.
What a terrible purchase. That's a
Wow.
waste of money.
Yeah, totes. Don't sell
And
your mom for rugs, people.
This lady is the only one who didn't do anything wrong, so she has to watch the bloodbath, the ensuing bloodbath.
She did one thing wrong. She didn't say God bless you when Loki sneezed.
Oh.
Oh, yes. Oh, goodness.
And I actually was afraid for a second since I hadn't seen it in a bit. Are you really going to kill her for that? No, he didn't.
No. Well, and you'll notice that
I'm
like
glad he has a limit.
A lot of the actors, actually all of the actors, are somewhat stocky, hefty men because it was intended that this was going to be a big action sequence. And then Kevin Smith remembered that he wasn't that good of a director. So they did everything off screen with sound, and I think they do a good job. But there was an opportunity to have an action fight scene, and they decided no.
So he couldn't hire a choreographer? Or he just
I don't well, no. Kevin Smith is again the first person on the block to say he's not that good a director.
Well, I mean, he's good at directing certain things. Like he's really good at directing normal people talking to each other and saying funny things to each other. He's great at you know, at that. And then, you know, maybe some slapsticky stuff and goofy funny stuff, but he's really, you know, he knows that, you know, there are other people who know how to do a fight choreography, which you're supposed to hire, and maybe he didn't know then you're supposed to hire those people to choreograph a fight scene. You don't have to actually know how to do it yourself as a director, but yeah, he is good at, he has a problem with giving himself any credit though for
He has
anything.
limitations, but and also
Yeah.
he was attached to do the Green Hornet movie. And he was the first, like when he was like, oh yeah, I'd love to do a Green Hornet movie. And then he was like, so what is it going to be? The Green Hornet and Kato leaning up against the Black Beauty and just being like, all right, I guess we should do crime or fight crime. And then Green Hornet and Kato wander away. And then you just hear fighting off screen. And then they come back and they go like, oh, well, that was intense.
But back to the movie, though. Serendipity, I got to give her an actual introduction because we only saw her for a few seconds before because she was just dancing. And so
you know what?
she's
And that
actually
that omission is the only thing that I was just like, oh, come on. I thought it would be funny as hell. Although I do understand because you get to see Alan Rickman without genitals. And then serendipity, she lifts her skirt. And I was like, oh, great. No vagina, Salma Hayek. I can't wait. And they didn't. And I was upset. But I got over it.
Oh, right. You got Rickman, but not her.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But she isn't technically an angel. She's a muse. She's an abstract.
Yes.
What's the difference between an angel and an abstract? I'm sure there's something there. An abstract.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Angel?
What is it? Well, and also don't forget, this is a fantastical flight of fancy. So maybe he made stuff up.
Yeah.
But
that's what I'm thinking. He might have just made it up.
I do enjoy the idea because I'm a muse, stupid.
But muse is something obviously from Greek mythology. And so it's gotten carried over. And if there are any in the Bible, I'd like to know about it.
Me too. I will have to go to church on Sunday to find out. I'll raise my hand. Excuse me.
Well, now you've got a reason.
I just watched Dogma, sir. Oh, ma'am.
Maybe you'll make a friend.
I doubt it. Oh, are those crackers? Thank you. No, wait.
And well, and she actually is the inspiration for 20 movies or 19 movies rather. Sorry,
except for Home Alone.
19, yeah, 19 of the top grossest movies of all time. That would have been an interesting thing to do, is to determine which ones they might have meant to include on that list since they don't list them.
Jaws, Star Wars, Jurassic Park. That's all I got so far.
I almost didn't even want to get a picture of this. The demon coming out of the toilet. Yuck.
But the Golgothan.
Yeah, the Golgothan is on its way.
I love the idea that she is a muse and she gives ideas away like it's her job, because it is. And then comes to Earth, takes a human body, $50, and writer's block.
Yeah. Yep, that's right. She's a muse for everybody else but herself. She can. Yeah, kind of sad. She wants to be. She has to be creative through others.
Leave it to Catholics to destroy existence. Come on, I don't care where you're from. That's funny. I bet the Pope giggled.
I bet he didn't.
Oh, I never really considered that.
This was banned, I think, in some places.
Oh, yeah.
They really went after this movie when it came out.
The Catholic League immediately said it was blasphemy, but I don't even know if they had watched it first.
No, of course they didn't.
Well, and it's a I don't know how well known it is, but there was protests about this movie because it was blasphemous, and there is footage of Kevin Smith himself protesting this movie, and the local
so
television
funny.
station said, interviewed him, and he said he was Brian Johnson, who is or was one of his friends. I don't know what the relationship is now, and he sat there and said, "Oh no, this is the worst thing in the world. Have you seen?" And they asked him, "Have you seen the movie?" And he's like, "No, I don't want to put myself through it. It's awful. This is so disparaging."
So smart.
Why are people so upset with DJ Knight? Why are you angry at Mila Kunis? What did Mila Kunis do to you? I don't know why Mila Kunis is bad. But Jill, we lost the slides. Here we are. Kevin, oh, you got it. Great.
Oh, you're so good.
You're on the ball.
The new movie Dogma opens tonight, and it's...
Oh, you don't want to get copyright struck by local news?
Well, no, because it's a YouTube YouTube thing, and they are demonetizing channels right now that are
okay.
Yeah.
No, you know
Can
what?
you hear it?
Not yet.
Can you hear it?
No,
How
you
about-
could do if you
Yes.
did captions, maybe you could do captions and we could see the words and you don't have to hear anything.
Well, I'll just skip straight to
Kevin.
Oh, the part where
Yeah.
Kevin.
Writer, director, co-star, and New Jersey resident Kevin Smith.
I don't think it stands for anything positive.
What does it stand for?
I don't know, but I've been told not good.
The movie follows two fallen angels who try to get back into heaven and the people who are fighting to keep them out.
I was the 13th apostle.
You knew Christ.
No.
Have many groups angry.
Brother owes me $12.
Number, but we're the church militant.
Oh, that's an actual protest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's great.
No, they probably were standing right next to Kevin Smith, didn't even know him.
But you're right. But you're right, though. Did I get him? Yeah, I did.
Yes, you did.
Okay, so
And his mom,
you're right. I do need to be careful with the copyright.
his mom called him and said, "Kevin, I saw somebody who looked just like you who was protesting your movie."
Oh, funny.
Yes.
So funny.
All right, so now I'll bring back the slides. So we can defeat the
Golgothan.
Narful the Gorthox. The Gorth.
The Gorthox? The Anthrax. The Lorax.
The Golgothon.
The Go-Go Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, well, you watch this movie lots. Describe the action. What's going on?
Well, the Golgotha. Well, no, and this is exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to Kevin Smith directing action. Is all you get is reaction shots from Bethany, Rufus, Jay, and Silent Bob, and they're just like, "Oh, what? Oh, no! Up, down, left, right," and then you hear sound.
I think
effects.
that's what makes it funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. Everyone's mugging.
Yeah.
Well, apparently this is all the excrement that occurred at the
Golgotha.
place where everybody was crucified.
Oh, Salma Hayek totally describes it perfectly. So when you're crucified, you die and you release your bowels, piss and shit. And that is what is the Golgothan. It is criminals' excrement. And this is a shit demon. And it is brought back.
Gross.
And it came from Bethany.
But have you ever played Conker's Bad Fur Day? Because that's one of my favorite boss fights. It's so fun because the
shit
poop
demon
monster in that is it sings opera.
Oh boy,
really good song.
Doesn't it spit corn at you?
Yes, because that's the
Yeah.
only thing that it doesn't digest.
Yes.
Oh, wow, this is a shitty conversation.
It is.
Because it has its teeth are corn kernels.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So
Although I think
it's funny and gross at the same time. It's like, I don't know. It puts a smile on your face, but it's also like, oh, gross.
well,
But-
maybe that is something that hell would come up with.
True.
Oh, nice. This is not a reference, but this is also something from Clerks 3. And it's like when the three people who were crucified with Jesus, like there were Jesus and two other people. And one of them says, well, if you're the Son of God, why can't you get us out of this mess? And the other one says, well, he's the Son of God and we are but thieves. And in Clerks 3, they say, what's a butt thief? So I thought that was funny.
Mm-hmm.
But thieves.
Yeah.
But
I get it. We do get it.
It's just not as funny as I think it is. Okay.
Yes.
Knock strong odors out.
I'm laughing at you explaining the joke to us.
No, I'm terrible at this. I am the worst drunk uncle.
It's the best. No, I love it.
So the demon is defeated by air freshener?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
See, but this is Jill. This is the thing when it comes to fantasy, is like, oh my God, there's a giant poop demon, and they killed it with air freshener, and it's like, is that where your suspension of disbelief fell off? It wasn't the poop monster. It was the air freshener.
Air freshener.
Okay. No, actually, my suspension of disbelief died off at 20 minutes into the movie, which is why I can enjoy it.
Yeah. You guys are bringing up such a good point about, like, the fact that it's unbelievable doesn't take away from the entertainment factor. It adds, and it just like multiplies it,
Mm. Yeah, it does. It gives it its own lore that you can separate and not take it. You don't have to take it seriously.
Yeah. I like the fact you use the word lore, because that's exactly, all of this stuff is make believe, and they're just adding more and more layers of minutia into it, but it's all very entertaining and preposterous and but fascinating at the same time.
Yeah, definitely.
I want all of my serious conversations to take place in the toy aisle of a Kmart.
Ooh.
Right, I was like, why are they in a toy? Why are they in a toy aisle? I was wondering, and that's all. It's just a setting.
Why is everyone so angry at Mila Kunis? What did Mila Kunis do to everybody? Everyone's angry at Mila Kunis.
Oh, was I supposed to? I'm supposed.
No, I don't know why.
No
I don't know why.
Am I supposed to see why there's a problem with Mila Kunis?
Yeah, I don't get the thing about Mila Kunis. I thought
never thought I'd have a potty mouth.
But then again, I'm a She-Hulk fan, so maybe
I don't know what she did. Honestly, I don't know what she did either. But
like, aside from Ashton Kutcher, I don't think that she's done anything wrong.
I always thought this character was poking fun at Jim and Tammy Faye Baker, huge televangelists back then. In the name of the Lord.
Oh, yeah, I could see that. I could totally see that.
Let's see. I don't know. Well, I'm trying to find the Mila Kunis. What is it?
It doesn't matter. No, I just
I don't know. So I want to give it attention.
Well, DJ Knight is very upset.
Oh, Franco Walker's also here.
Hey, Franco. Yeah, Mila Kunis is attractive. I think she's witty. I don't see any problem with her. Except for,
use the bucket. What?
She used the bucket? Okay. I don't know what that means.
Oh, she's throwing up? I don't understand.
Is she a
Oh
changeling?
no. It's a character role playing thing.
Oh,
where,
okay.
yeah, she's
Yeah.
she's Mila Kunis. She's pretending. Well, she's being Mila Kunis, and Mila Kunis would do something inside the bucket after seeing the poop monster.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
to
gross.
me, yeah. Yeah.
Who
Oh.
is Mila Kunis?
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
DJ
Like-
and I just chose somebody to react to the scene we just saw.
Yeah,
Okay, that makes sense.
it's like
Thank
it's like
you.
role playing. Yeah.
I can do you better. Who is Mila Kunis? I know her as the a character Jackie on That 70s Show. She was
And
the
she was
youngest
in-
actor because
Yeah.
they asked her when are you going to be 18? And she said, on my birthday. And so, but she was actually 15, so she wasn't technically lying.
Yeah, and she was in Ted. She was in Black Swan.
Mm-hmm. But here we have how does is it Azrael?
Azrael.
Azrael.
Yeah,
Why do I
yeah.
always forget how to say that? Anyway, he's telling them to stop going on murder sprees and
Yeah.
and keep a low profile because both heaven and hell want to kill you, and because what you're doing is not good for anybody, destroying all existence, but it's good for me, so I'm helping you guys, basically.
Well, no, he doesn't really tip that.
He doesn't tip that, but that's true though. You
Yes.
find that out later. Because
All right.
he doesn't
I'm just
care
gonna step
to
away for
be around.
I'm
When
just
I
gonna
think
step
of
away for a moment.
Azrael,
Sure.
when I think of Azrael, I always think of the Smurfs.
You think of the Smurfs? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Azrael.
Is that the name of the guy who's always messing
Yeah,
with the Smurfs?
yeah.
He seems like a giant because they're so small.
Azrael. Oh no! Azrael is the cat. Sorry.
Is the cat?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because he's like
I
Azrael.
don't remember the characters. Oh, why do they always give cats to bad guys?
I know.
Yeah, cats.
And he's so rude to the cat, and the cat's like.
That's good meow though. Kirk 130's here.
Hey, Herc.
Hello.
How you doing, Herc?
So this is the part of the movie where everybody meets.
Oh,
Yeah. It's a big confrontation on the train.
Yeah. Ben is so good here because he's like learning, and he's holding back a little bit, and it's like it's beautiful because then after this, he unleashes.
Yeah, well, and at first he's just trying to confirm his suspicions.
Yeah.
But they do have there's also some cool philosophy in this scene also, talking about Chris Rock mentions that Jesus' only problem is the things that people do in his name, like wars and bigotry and televangelism. Speaking of televangelism. And then, of course, Bartleby meets Bethany, not knowing that she's a scion yet. But of course, it is revealed in this scene. And actually, though, the thing is, Bartleby and Loki don't even realize that what they're doing, they're just trying to get back into heaven, but they don't realize that that's going to destroy all existence. And that something about this is what flips something in Bartleby.
Yeah, because I think at this point he was thinking if they were good enough and they just waited it out on Earth that they weren't
Mhm.
they were going to be allowed to go back to heaven again. And now he's figuring out like, oh, there's no going back. You know,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
and
so
he
he's
loses it.
he's got nothing to live for now, and that really, tips him over the edge, and understandably, like, 'cause it's like it's where he loses any trace of, like, I wanna say humanity, but he wasn't really ever a man, but, pretending to be a man or trying to be uh, a servant of God, if you will, and he's like, "Nope, all bets are off."
And yeah, then that's his major problem is that he's jealous of humanity in a way.
Yeah.
And how in their free will and how angels are made to be servants, and that's what this whole conversation is about. And
Yeah.
this is a conversation that Scotty wanted to read all of. He
Oh,
wanted
okay.
a
I
reading of
can't
this
wait.
entire thing. He wants
Yes.
a reading of this entire thing.
I can't
But
wait because it's so good. Scotty,
mhm,
come
I know,
back.
right? But there was one more thing I didn't mention. Oh,
Mhm.
um, before we got on the train, Bob throws the angels off the train, and he speaks for the first time in the movie. And I wanted to ask Scotty if this is the first time he speaks, but I'm not sure because it's the fourth movie. He says no ticket.
No, I think he speaks in every movie from what I
Oh, he
but
speaks
he
in every movie. Okay.
he just says, like, one line or a small monologue. Because I know in Chasing Amy, he says, like, one of the most important lines in the whole movie, and it's like, wow. Well, he gives he does like a full on monologue in that one.
Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, he seems to speak in every one, but not yeah, no ticket. So
And Padawannabe says that's an indie
Indie.
reference.
Indie reference from The Last Crusade.
Yes, yes. Oh gosh, that's so good that you know that.
Well, and okay, so there is a production, two things from the train scene. Uh, when Rufus wakes up and he says poopy trim, which is a reference to anal sex, because trim is euphemistically used towards a lady bit, but poopy trim is the bum hole. And everyone thought it was so hilarious that subsequently poopy trim has been in a lot of the View Askew universe movies because Kevin Smith thought it was the funniest thing ever. And then when when Silent Bob attacks Bartleby, Ben Affleck says, Schuller Bob. And Schuller Bob is a made up word that is Germanic because Bartleby, because he's been around for so long, he speaks German. And Silent Bob himself is a reincarnation of one of God's soldiers, if you will. And it was improvised. They couldn't do anything about it because at this point in Kevin Smith's career, he was like, just read what I wrote. Don't improvise at all, ever. And they left it in because they couldn't help it. And so it is one of those things. And it is an improvisation by Ben Affleck that was left in the movie. And Kevin Smith derided Ben Affleck at the time and said, just don't improvise. Oh my God. And he complains about it and he says, well, and then, I told him, stop putting your words in my movie. And he saved all of his improvisations and put it in a script. And it was Good Will Hunting and he won an Oscar for it. So what do I know?
Oh, interesting.
Poopy trim.
Is it all really?
Oh yeah, the whole thing that I just said is actual factual.
Neat.
Neat-ish.
Yeah.
So Dogma could have got an Oscar if he only let the guy do his thing.
How do you like them apples?
if you watch the acceptance speech of Ben and Matt, because I'm on a first name basis with them, from though when they won for the screenplay for Good Will Hunting, they are in the middle of shooting Dogma.
All right. Well, what happens here in the parking lot is a turning point in the movie, because all along you think Loki's the one off the rails murdering all these people, but it turns out only Bartleby will consider killing the innocent. And I never thought he was going to be good or anything, but this is a really good flip.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
I've heard a rant like this before.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Well, you were telling me you wanted to read this. Do you want to read it?
Oh God, yes.
I want to hear.
Okay. Oh, okay. But I didn't.
If you don't have the script, then it's not a big deal.
I
It's
have
just
the
be
script. I just don't
self-indulgent.
have. I have the script. I just don't have who's saying what. So that if that's okay, I'm gonna copy it anyway. Oh, and some of it kind of.
Oh, there it is.
Fix it. Well, and this is gonna take just a minute if you guys can say some things.
Well, I'll say this. Silent Bob. No, I won't say that because
we're on a Dogma stream.
Jay and Silent Bob are two characters that I saw for the first time in the movie Little Nicky. And I absolutely adore Little Nicky. And I know it's panned and a lot of people hate that movie. It's another one that's like heaven and hell kind of conversation, religion and all that. And it's like one of my favorite movies and they're in it. And I was like, who are those guys? They're hilarious. And I hadn't really seen any of the other movies yet. So yeah. And I
actually really like Little Nicky. It's an interesting movie. It's fun for me.
Yeah, me too. So much. I can't help but just laugh uncontrollably from that. It's just
Oh, there is a lot of text for this.
I told
No,
you
it's long. It's intense.
It's long.
Yeah. But it's really
so
good
you
though.
You keep going and I'll start. And
it's
I'm just
fabulous.
gonna go I'm just gonna go with. Can you Jill, can you start with You All Right? Your eyes are kinda can you just set me up with that?
What do I do? Oh, you mean
just read the You All Right? Your eyes are kind of.
What do you mean? Do you want me to read with you?
Well, you just have to read from 245. Just say, You all right? Your eyes are kind of.
You're all right? Your eyes are kind of.
My eyes are open. For the first time, I get it. When that little innocent girl let her mission slip, I had an epiphany. You see, in the beginning, it was just us and him. Angels and God. He created humans. Ours was designed to be a life of servitude and worship and bowing and scraping and adoration. He gave them more than he ever gave us. He gave them a choice. They choose to acknowledge God or choose to ignore him. All this time we've been down here, I've felt the absence of the divine presence. And it pains me, as I'm sure it must have pained you. And why? Because that's the way he made us. Had we been given free will, we could choose to ignore the pain like they do. But no, we're servants. All I'm saying is that, oh no, that's Matt Damon's part. All I'm saying is that one of us might need to have a little map. Wake up! These humans have besmirched everything he has bestowed upon them. They were given paradise. They threw it away. They were given this planet. They destroyed it. And they were favored best among all of his endeavors. And some of them don't even believe he exists. And in spite of it all, he has shown them infinite fucking patience at every turn. What about us? I asked you once to lay down the sword because I felt sorry for them. What was the result? Our expulsion from paradise. Where was his infinite fucking patience then? It's not right. It's not fair. We've paid our debt. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time we went home? And to do that, I think we may have to dispatch our would-be dispatchers. And then Loki says, wait, what? Kill them? You're talking about the last Scion, literally, for Christ's sake. And what about Jay and Bob? Those guys are all right. Don't, says Bartleby. Don't, my friend. Don't let your sympathies get the best of you. They did me once. Scion or not. She's just a human. And by passing through that arch, our sins are forgiven. No harm, no foul. And then Loki says, my God, I've heard a rant like this before. Bartleby retorts, what did you say? And Loki's, I've heard a rant like this before. Bartleby says, don't you do that to me. Loki says, you sound like the morning star. And it goes back and forth a lot. And Loki says, I'm going back to Wisconsin. And then Bartleby says, we're going home, Loki. And no one, not even the Almighty himself, is going to make that otherwise. My God. It is such a powerful scene, and I probably tore it apart. But fuck.
It's really good.
And it is, and it's followed up by one of the, like, this is an angry angel. And it's followed up by one of the most sympathetic soliloquies from Alan Rickman. And it's perfect. The bracketing.
It's a great scene to highlight, and that is a good point. I do enjoy the scene that comes up after Rufus tells Bethany who she is, and she storms off, and Alan Rickman has to explain.
Sorry, I appreciate everyone allowing me my little theater.
Oh, it's great.
No, I think it is good. It explains a lot of the story of what's going on with those angels. Definitely.
Well, it's fun to play.
Mean, I love that scene so much. I mean, it is one of the most remarkable moments for me as far as dialogue in a lot of movies. Just that is really like a highlight for me.
Mm-hmm.
His performance is so unhinged. Like the fury and the derangedness that he embodies at that moment is so intense. And it compared to like before, he's like, oh no, what are you doing? It's he's trying to be a good angel, and then he's like, no, when he says his eyes have been opened for the first time, you really feel connected to him in a way, because it's like, oh wow, he's seeing his life and his world in a completely new context, and it's rocking him, you know. And it's so beautiful, beautifully done. And
Well, and also, like, there is a moment where Loki says, "You're not talking about going home anymore.
yeah,
You're talking about war on God.
yeah,
Fuck that. I have
yeah.
seen what happens when the proud take on the throne."
It's a complete recreation of his character, but just based on something new he learns that turned him around from trying to be mild mannered, trying to be good, like you said, and
Well,
just
yeah.
flipping.
But like I said,
And
well, and as the Metatron said, if there isn't a movie about it, you people don't know anything, do you? And
well, and if you go, yeah,
I learned a lot of my sort of theological beliefs, my faith. I did. I know it's flippant, and I know people are going to think like I don't have a soul anymore. But I learned a lot of how to contextualize my relationship with God through this movie and the platypus. And like when I watch this, it is something where it's like, okay, like I've wondered if sometimes when I feel alone, is it because I feel the absence of God? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So,
mean, it could
and if
help.
you go,
It could help people to figure things out. You know, along the lines of how they feel about religion and
maybe
their
it's,
conflicts
yeah.
with it. Maybe acceptance. It can help with acceptance, or maybe take them further away from it. It depends on your point of view and how you're looking at it, but also, I think having sort of a general. I never really had an intense background of religion, but I do have a religious kind of um, uh, embodiment. Like I do believe in my own thing, but um, it is sort of like going through all of the things that we know we've been taught, or that has been taught, and kind of giving you the opportunity to kind of think about it. Even though this is a fantasy, it is also like talking about something about belief systems and
yeah,
how to contextualize that in the real world, even though this is a fantasy situation full of comedy and hyperbole. It's just it's fascinating. I love this.
Yes.
How many other ways I could say that I
it
love
is
this?
actually explained more in that train scene when Bethany says, when you're a kid, you believe all of it implicitly. All of it just is a thing that is there, but when you get older, your how you interact with it changes.
Well, and that's also the moment where Bethany accepts the idea that God is a woman, and serendipity explains it, and it's like, of course. Did you have any doubt?
But yeah. But in the end
also,
of the movie, Chris Rock says that Rufus says that he's neither. Like he's neither.
she's not really anything.
Not
And
really
Bethany
anything. That's what it
says
is.
she's something, all right.
And speaking of Rufus, he's telling Bethany all about how she's related to Jesus, and that's just too much for her.
Which is so, like, again, this is one of those moments where she does such a good job. Like Linda Fiorentino.
Yes.
I think she does a great job in her mournful, don't do this to me. And Alan Rickman completely, not only, I think, reassures her, but also reassures the audience in terms of the weight, but also everything is going to be okay. My stars, I'm getting emotional. Maybe it was because I read the whole spiteful angel thing.
Yeah. And Alan is just brilliant in this.
Incredible.
I mean, what is he not brilliant in? So I don't like.
He is.
I've never seen him sleepwalking in a movie. He's fantastic.
Oh yeah, definitely always present and has a knack for knowing how to pace his dialogue
Yeah.
perfect.
Naturally, like there's a natural comedic timing that he has. It's just completely like rare. I mean, it's like sometimes even overly theatrical, but also just works. Just works. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Why
Well,
didn't
he's like
you
a
tell me?
sarcastic Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Very.
Yeah, so she had to go through the whole adventure she had of everything we'd seen, so just in order to believe that what Rufus was just telling her is true, to accept it. And he talks about having to have the same kind of conversation with Jesus. And
I don't know. DJ Knight might have to take off. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, DJ Knight has to go. Oh, bye, DJ Knight. I'm glad you were here.
Yes,
Thank you
DJ
for spending
Knight.
some time with us.
Have a
There
great
are
day.
no good
DJ Knight.
Adam Sandler films.
That is incorrect.
But some people do have that opinion, and that their opinion is
Well,
not incorrect.
Yeah, don't take it from me. I'm a She-Hulk fan.
But no,
by the way,
I like
is
Adam
now a good
Sandler
time to ask
sometimes.
people to buy me a She-Hulk?
Oh, if you want to.
Yeah,
I
buy me a
guess so.
She-Hulk.
I'm distracted, so
Thank you.
so
That's all.
you can get that in there.
This stream has been brought to you by Scott Begging for Dolls.
Oh.
Come on, it's funny.
She-Hulk dolls are great. I wasn't so crazy about this show, but I love the idea of the character. So yeah, dolls.
Retro Nergo, you and I can talk about it next week on our brand new podcast. Scott Likes She-Hulk.
Oh, what I like in this scene is when he says, "If I had the power, I would have." Because it was unfair to ask a child to shoulder that responsibility. Because of course he's told when he's only 12.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, I would refuse to believe it. Also.
And I think the special effect
I
of
would
him
fight it.
walking on water is incredible. And if they do a re-release, I hope that they touch up the effect. But it's not bad for 1999 on the budget that they had. And he does. And it's like a platform that was under the water and he walks across it. It's fantastic. It looks so good. Could use a little tweak, but
if I could have gotten a clip, it would have been, "This is who you are," and she says, "Everything I am has been a lie. Knowing what you know now doesn't mean you're not who you were. You are Bethany Sloan. No one can take that away from you, not even God. All this means is a redefinition of that identity, the incorporation of this new data into who you are. Be who you've always been, just be this as well."
oh, my stars. You're making me emotional.
So good. Like I said, that dialogue. Wow.
Yeah, it is very well written.
Yeah. That's his secret
delivered.
talent. When he applies it, he's not trying to make people laugh, and he gets serious. He can write. He can write.
Well, and also it's a collaboration because I don't know. If you have Jason Mewes say that dialogue, it's not necessarily that good. You have Alan Rickman say it, and it is one of the most comforting things about, like, it feels like somebody is just saying, you are okay.
Greek Letters Larson says, "You're the chosen one, Neo." Sorry, wrong movie again.
You mean Anakin? Oh, wrong movie.
Or Harry Potter.
Oh, wrong movie. I love this, and and also the Metatron is a bit like Q, is that whenever he wants to change scenery, it's just, and I love how Jay responds. He's just like, I think this shit is kicking in.
Yeah, that's how high level of an angel he is, because you don't see other angels with this capability. It's pretty
No,
special.
and yeah, Jill, you know what I just realized? We were watching a Jay and Silent Bob movie, and I'm not stoned. I'm not gonna. It's too late now. We're too far in.
Well, it's shocking, absolutely.
It is shocking.
Unacceptable.
For a Friday afternoon, I should be totally baked.
I don't even know who you are anymore.
Also, I do enjoy. I love Alan Rickman in this scene, and he's like, "Well, I think we should all get drunk because I'm out of ideas."
Yeah, he likes to get other people drunk. It's nice because he can't do it, so we get to watch other people. And apparently, God is a huge skee ball fan.
Oh yeah,
and I love how they interchange between saying his and her,
hers. Yes,
just whichever gender you like to call him right now. It's fine.
Well, and
that's
also
just wrong, Scotty. Yeah.
That's it's a reference back to Chasing Amy, is that Ben Affleck, Holden McNeil goes out with Alyssa, and he says, we should go play skee ball, and she's like, why do you want to go play skee ball? And he's like, it is a panty remover. Chicks love skee ball. And that has been for quite a while in my 20s. I took that advice. Anytime I went on a first date, I would take them to go play skee ball. Usually worked.
Cute. Really? Wow. Well,
it's the secret weapon, obviously. I have not been treated to.
You've never been taken to play skee ball?
Absolutely not.
No. What a crime. Here we go. Back to George.
Yeah, and because the prophets finally show their keep, earn their keep, they finally come up with an idea to see if they could just ask the cardinal to not have the ceremony, so that way the angels can't pass under the ark if the church is closed.
Fill those pews, people.
But it doesn't work. It's a good idea, though. And it gets them to the place they need to be anyway.
Also, I do really like Chris Rock's delivery. All right, who do you people think you are? I was sent by him who is called I am.
That, I thought something was going to happen when he said that. That felt like a moment.
Oh, it was a moment, though. And then Carlin is like, oh, cute. No, I thought it was. Then he shrugs and he's like, I don't know, it worked for Moses.
Yeah, it's just completely dismissed, but it was really good.
Does he say Moses? It worked for Moses?
Worked for Moses.
Yeah. But that doesn't make sense, because if he was an apostle, see, now I'm going to nitpick. If he was an apostle, Moses is the Old Testament and Jesus is the New Testament, right?
Yeah, but he read his history books.
Oh, so he was just referencing something that he had heard. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think he was saying he was there.
Okay. I apologize for the blasphemy, everybody.
Okay, if I was doing that, I have to do that every 20 minutes. I apologize for the blasphemy of the stream.
We all apologize
I apologize for all 3 hours of this live stream.
of the blasphemy. I don't know what skee ball, but if it gets you laid from the first date, I ought to try it. No, Greek letters. Here's the deal. It's like a bowling alley, but it's very, very short, and it's got rings. And so you get like 10 balls, and you try and get you try and get the ball into the ring, and then you get tickets, and then you can buy cheap shit with your tickets. Yeah. Totes.
Oh, thank you.
And yeah,
no, it's a fun game.
I'm always happy if I could just get it in the rings at all. I'm happy because getting a gutter is really easy in this game.
No, there's no gutter in skee ball. That's why it's good.
Well, no, but I mean, you don't get any points if you just make it past the if you don't actually get it in the rings. If you just get it over the bar.
But that's also the best part is that even if you don't get it into one of the rings, the lowest one you get 5 points. So you still get points even if you suck.
Oh, yes.
But I'm thinking you've never sucked so bad that you got it underneath the lowest one.
Oh, I've sucked pretty bad, Jill. You're welcome.
Sometimes I do best when I'm not even paying attention how I'm throwing.
Well, and the thing is like I think that if you get the center ring, which would be like the bullseye, I think that's like 100 points. But if you get like the top left, it's 500 points. And if you get the top right, it's 1,000 points. It's very difficult, but it's pretty rad. I'm saying
it's a good game.
It's a fun time with a lady or a dude.
I've only seen it in movies. So it's
you gotta find an arcade.
It's one of those mystical things I've never actually had.
God likes it. You too good for God's game?
No one's ever invited you to a Chuck E. Cheese party.
I was gonna say, is that Chuck E. Cheese for adults? That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Dave and Buster's.
Dave and Buster's, that's better. Oh, Dave and Buster's does have skee ball too.
I've never been in either of those places.
That's it. We should rename the entire stream to Skee Ball Advertising. This stream has been brought to you by Skee Ball, the Lord's game.
Actually, that's pretty funny.
Oh, yeah, actually, that is a good idea. Yeah, that is a good idea. I don't know. I can't.
No, don't.
You might get. I'm sorry, but that's how they're titling a lot of these videos today. They're using weird titles, so that might work.
So Loki and Bartleby make it to New Jersey.
Yes.
And we spend a lot of time in this bar with the demons because they're holding them hostage, basically. They're trying to hold Bethany, the apostle, the prophets, so that Loki and Bartleby can pass through the arch without anybody bothering them. Yeah. Yeah, so they're finally trying to do the thing. And
I love the response when the bartender says to Azrael, "Where did you come from?" And he shrugs and he's like, "Nothingness." Sometimes I like using that.
All right, Plato. Sounds like you've had enough already.
Oh, come on. Just one, barkeep. Have you ever had a holy bartender? Get it? So anyway, he has an Uzi.
Yes. So yeah, and then he uses that.
That usually settles a lot of arguments.
Oh, yeah, it does. That's the end of that. That's the joke. He becomes very holy. And I'm being called. I'll be right back. Hold on, I gotta pause the slides and mute.
All right. Oh, there you go. When Jill exits, Bartleby arrives and says, "God doesn't live here anymore." But this
Yeah.
is like, this is such an interesting scene in terms of CGI effects, and performance. Like everything about in front of the church it culminates to an apocalypse. There is only one thing that I do think that Kevin Smith's all over this movie is that because this is near the hospital where they have to go and get John Doe Jersey, who is God trapped in a human body.
A nice twist.
And there is the evacuation of the hospital, and there is announcers saying, there is an apocalypse. Everyone, please evacuate the building. It's like, that's too much. Because I don't think that humanity should know that the apocalypse is upon them.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just two angels going crazy. It's not like, the same thing is happening in France, and
Right.
that's an apocalypse. If it's happening worldwide, it's just happening in this small little area. But I guess for the purposes of this film, and just to kind of reiterate that what they're about to do, if they get to walk through the arches, it will undo existence. They're using that kind of term, but honestly, yeah, it's not. It doesn't make
But
sense.
nobody should know that.
Yeah, well, unless it just became a huge bit of gossip, like everybody's been repeating this and someone overheard it and started repeating it.
I get,
somehow,
well,
you
to
know.
be fair, I guess that Ben Affleck does, show his wings and fly around and kill a bunch of people. So maybe the
Okay.
existence of so maybe.
Yeah, if I saw some angels killing people, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's the apocalypse.
Oh.
Yeah, that would be a fair assessment.
Yeah. Great point. Love that. Thank you. That settled that.
No, but I had to work it out. I had to logically work it out, and I appreciate you being with me for that. A muse has no place in battle.
I love that this movie inspires these like theories and conversations. Just really wild.
Yeah. Elvis was an artist, but that didn't stop him from joining the service in time of war.
And that's why he was the king, and you're a schmuck. I love Selma Hayek in this movie. It's so great.
She's great, yeah.
I've got about 15 minutes left, and I gotta go.
Okay.
So I've got as long as
let's kill these angels.
Let's kill these angels. Yeah, that means at this point I'm not stopping the slides for nothing. So,
Sure.
So you gotta talk about it as it's happening.
Okay.
And well, we're gonna kill the angels with the instrument of God that Jay and Silent Bob stole from the cardinal. And it works as an instrument of God because it was blessed. Because that's what the cardinal did to make sure his game was on form.
Kind of reminds me of Caddyshack, because doesn't the chaplain or what have you, he gets struck by lightning.
Oh, he does.
In Caddyshack.
And the bullets do not, of course, kill the angels. Because they're not yet human.
What did you tell him? Ever the fucking apple polisher. Take your best shot. I'm a fucking demon.
Mm-hmm. And he's a demon. We kind of glossed over it because he chose not to take a side in the war.
Yeah. Well, and that was his punishment, is that when the war between Lucifer and God occurred, Azrael sat it out. And
Bethany can bless the water, and so that's how they kill the other demons.
Oh yeah. No, and it's such a funny throwaway gag, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to try that water into wine thing at my next birthday party." Yeah. Holy shit, Silent Bob's an instrument of God? No, you idiot. I love how everyone refers to Jay as like idiot or stupid. But he is lovable. I do love Jay.
Yes. And so, no longer stuck there and having defeated the demons, they can stop the angels.
But it's also an interesting plot. Sort of, it's difficult because it's like we want to stop them, but if they die, then they win. And so how do we reconcile this? Did you go through the arch? Have you transubstantiated yet? What is the deal?
But you can tell immediately that Loki has become human because he's also really wasted. And so the first thing he does as a human is drink.
Well, and if I were an angel, that's what I would do.
Especially if your buddy's gone really crazy and starts murdering innocent people indiscriminately.
But also, like, I want to give some ups to Matt Damon on this one.
Yes.
Because he's like, they're like, serendipity is like, what have you done? What have you done? And Bethany is like, what have you done? What have you done? And he is pushing back against them. And it's like, I did everything I could. It wasn't me. Like, he is feeling remorse. And even Bartleby says, 2 problems with being mortal: consciousness, or a conscience, pardon me, a conscience, and limited lifespan. And so Bartleby kills him.
Yes.
Because Loki doesn't want to undo existence now that he's human.
So here's my question, and I think that's what it means, is that when he kills him, he goes to heaven now, right?
No, he didn't pass through the arch.
So
he's still with sin, so it doesn't undo God's will.
Okay, so he just goes nowhere.
No, apparently, according to Jay and Silent Bob reboot, he is sitting outside the pearly gates. He did not go to hell.
Okay.
But
so he went somewhere, but he's right at the gates. So he can't go in.
No, it's like being at a mall on Black Friday at 5 a.m.
Or in the hangar bay.
So there's a lot of people there, though.
Yeah, they're all waiting.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But I wanted cheap TVs.
Like
that makes sense.
Like your airplane has landed, but it doesn't quite reach the gate.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, that's even worse. At least in front of the pearly gates, there's some people to talk to.
Yeah, you're outside.
Oh man, imagine that. Horrible. That's hell. That's actually hell. Just like being on the tarmac there. Woof.
Forever.
Not fun.
No. And also, hey, Big Bird, count the shells, fuck a duck. This is such a great effect too, and it was practical.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. But also,
see,
it
there
was
it
helping
is.
him. You just
there
did
it
him
is
a
with
favor,
Rufus.
stupid.
And this is such a great performance when he realizes that he's transubstantiated and he like touches his shot off wings and he tastes the blood and he is both elated and devastated at the same time. He's like, I did it, but this is terrible. Like, it is such a good performance by Ben because we're on a first name basis.
Oh yeah.
And Bethany has the idea that this guy might be God, and I hope you're a skee ball fan, and pulls the cord, and sure enough, God was trapped into this body by Azrael as part of his master plan to get God out of the way to end all of existence. Loki and
Well, and
probably.
And one of the best things about this is that when Bartleby is in the presence of God again, it's probably the happiest he's been in a millennia. Because he finally knows the presence of God again, and he apologizes for everything he's done. And it's not vengeful. It's just like, oh, right. Sorry. And then she dies. Or he dies. She's still alive. But can we, from what I understand, we do have a clip.
We do.
Can we play it?
Sure.
I don't know where it is. But
I need to play it. Okay. Hold on.
I would love to read it, but I won't do it justice.
Why the fuck did you hug my hand? What the fuck happened to that guy's head? I want.
Quite a mouth on him in there.
Great moment.
The direction for that was Kevin Smith, and he said to Jay, he was like, just be Daffy Duck.
Be Daffy. Hey, he did. That was pretty Daffy.
That was Daffy Duck.
And so this is a bit of an epilogue, and kind of we see that Bethany's been sacrificed herself because all the beams from when God was returned to heaven kind of harmed her and killed her. But God fixes it. just as he broke it, he fixed it.
Well, and as the Metatron says, the downside of being a martyr is that you have to die.
Hmm.
And this is also, I find this touching, is I'm the last scion. Well, you're half right. You were the last scion, and she is now of virgin, like she's a virgin birth. There is a virgin birth.
Well, but she's not a virgin, but it is a
neither was Mary. Did you watch the movie?
It's an immaculate conception.
Yes.
No, I don't think I thought Mary was a virgin, and it was a virgin birth. But
I don't.
After
Chris Rock told me.
No, you don't understand. Jesus was a virgin birth. All of the brothers and sisters I thought were babies after Jesus.
Oh, no. Well, I don't know. They never really gave I haven't seen the family photo.
That's how I interpreted it. We came up with different conclusions.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't be a Kevin Smith movie without it.
She's not really a woman.
She's not really anything.
Yeah, and she's found her faith. In fact, it's overflowing. It's a nice hug.
And after
she knows it's gonna be a girl, and he knows it's gonna be a girl, and she's like, name the baby after me. How do you name a girl Rufus?
Rufusina. No, but I really, you know what? And this is one of my favorite things, because again, this was the fourth movie in the View Askew universe, and at the end of it, when Jay says we should go to Quick Stop, I was like, yay! So, but everyone in this movie, like everyone, I think, does a great job.
Yes,
I think so too.
I think it's an epic sort of film of faith, and it reaffirms that faith. I don't think that it is blasphemous. I think it introduces more ideas than it takes away, and I love it, obviously. If you have the opportunity to watch it, please do.
Well, and if anything, if it gets you thinking about it, then it does put you more in touch with your own thoughts about your spirituality, even if it is, a dark comedy with lots of ridiculous things happening. Were you thinking about these things before?
Well, no. No, before this, I wasn't. Before I saw this movie, I had I had been to Sunday school, I had been to church, and I knew about it. I knew about Jesus, but I had never really contextualized the ideas. I had never really absorbed it into how I thought about it. It was just told to me how I should think about it. And this movie, it opened some doors just in terms of how I would feel about it.
Yeah, definitely. Your own exploration to your faith means more than whatever you're told to believe.
Well, and I thank the platypus.
Yeah, no, the platypus is great. It's
noble creature.
Prehistoric. Lots of great people in this movie, lots of great ideas.
Yeah.
Even if they're just touched on. Like Retro Nerd Girl was saying, you can theorize about them because there are so many of them that we definitely didn't get into everything. So I'd look forward to your deep dive one day to see if you ever do that.
Yeah, yeah. I think
your
I have
edited
to.
content is so good. I love your essays.
Oh, thank you. I'm definitely going to get back into doing a lot more. And this has been on the list. And now that we have access to the movie, man, that's a game changer. So it's really sad that it wasn't available for so long, and kind of deprived people of really getting into this. But it's so good. It's so. I mean, we can talk about it forever, but ultimately, we're talking about great performances, great writing, clever ideas. So good.
Yeah, I agree. It's
5 stars.
Goodness.
Yes. 5 of them.
All right, so we done?
Okay,
is it over?
Greek letter says, okay, people, show's over. Tune in next Friday for another family-friendly religious movie, Lars von Trier Antichrist with William Dafoe.
Interesting.
Well, but see, this is so funny because we did the prophecy.
Oh yeah,
we did do the prophecy.
We've talked about this stuff before.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I don't know. For some reason, this felt bigger to me.
Huh.
Yeah, I wasn't really like the prophecy was. I can barely remember that film. I know I sat through the whole thing. It wasn't that it wasn't good. It just is. This hit on like nerve after nerve after nerve and after nerve, especially if you were kind of on the outskirts of religious stuff, like you were not like fully into what was, all the rules and all the things that you do when you're Christian or Catholic, and then just to have that kind of talked about and someone kind of play around with the ideas, which no one was taking that kind of risk for, of course, for the obvious reasons of being banned or called names. That this was a very unique and I feel groundbreaking for its time, and just was willing to, push the envelope no, like you can't do this. This was something that was really not recommended in Hollywood to make a film like this. Even to like do your own depiction of what you think happened um, during the days of Christ. I mean, we're talking about people going through every single thing and criticizing it. And this is an open letter, like that is kind of, hey, we're questioning all of this and we're affirming it at the same way in a fantasy setting. And I think it worked. I think it worked for a lot of people as far as maybe even coming to terms with their religious background or their religious belief that they held, and maybe it affirmed it for a lot of people. Really, like they were like, yeah, maybe there is something to all of this, and maybe it doesn't go down the same way it did in the movie, but it's something to read up on, look into. Maybe it'll get you to look at the Bible and see, like, go through it and see what is it about this book that's really interesting to people, fascinating, or why does it change lives? Why do people swear by this? So
Yeah, I agree with that. If it strengthens someone's spirituality, then it definitely did have some value. And I know that there were some groups that were upset with it, a little offended by it and everything, but it was it's a comedy. It's supposed to comedy is supposed to take a look at serious things and have a if we can't laugh at humanity, what are we here for? It's
great. Yes.
Yeah. And I enjoy Alanis Morissette as
Oh yeah, I
showing up as
forgot.
God. Well, it's not that we
too.
forgot. It's just that I've been through it so fast, and I just wanted to make sure
Mhm.
to point a bit. I just love the nature that she gives to God. Just a
She gives, like, there is a
good natured.
healthy tablespoon of whimsy, and I
Yes.
enjoy, as opposed to being an authoritarian.
Yeah.
I do enjoy the idea that God is a skee ball fan and also Alanis Morissette and Bud
Yeah.
Cort.
Today, maybe God will be somebody else tomorrow.
Oh,
I have a
sure.
feeling that God could be
If it's in a Charlton
whoever
Heston movie.
whoever she wants to be.
Anyway.
And yeah, and now we're finished. And Franco Walker says, please subscribe, hit the bell, share, hit the like, and select live chat. But of course, first I've got to let you guys tell me about things that you guys are doing on the internet. You can tell me what's going on this week.
Oh, well, this week, tomorrow, actually, be doing a watch party for Batman 1989. I'll have my friend Douglas A. Burton join me. Then we're going to the following week. I'll most likely be doing Edward Scissorhands, and Anti-Derivative Jill will be joining me. This is amazing, and this is a lot of fun. That's pretty much all that I have. You can definitely take a look at my channel. I do a lot of reviews on movies, and I've been doing some movie talk where I kind of go deep dive into certain subjects and things like that. So do check out the channel, see if there's anything there that piques your interest, and stay tuned for the live watch parties, and have some fun with us on Saturdays.
Nice.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. And I just put your link in the chat for people
Thank
to
you.
subscribe if they haven't. Please do. Fantastic channel. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll see you soon.
And so I am over at the Phantasmagorium. We are going to be finishing up our Halloween season retrospective on the Universal monsters. And yeah, we
Ooh.
know that it's been 2 weeks since Halloween. But we, this Thursday, are going to be talking about Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein. Also, I think, if everything goes according to plan, I'm going to be recording with Ben from Cinema Gulp for our Fletch retrospective, including all 3 Fletch movies, the 2 Chevy Chase and the 1 John Hamm. And we're going to be taking care of that. That's going to be edited over there. But if you do want to see, you should check out a bunch of Cinema Gulp's edited content. They do live Hump Day Happy Hour every Wednesday. And then aside from that, I just bothered Jill, and we're going to be playing Fallout.
Yes, Saturday.
And also, we are going to be talking about something else. I'm sure.
Something else?
I'm sure. Aren't we?
Oh, yeah, something else soon.
Yeah. Oh, right. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. That's on my birthday. So
I know it's in December, but December's coming on.
Wow.
Yeah, I decided my birthday movie early this year.
Yes.
And so that'll be a lot of fun.
I'm a big
of course,
Pam
I'm continuing
Dauber fan.
my For All Mankind series every Tuesday, and I'll be finished by December 3rd. And then we'll have Stay Tuned December 10th. Then December 17th, we're going to start the Twilight Zone series, which will take forever, but it'll be wonderful.
Wow.
Great.
Until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday. Thank you for joining the conversation with me and engaging in the chat and making, leaving me a comment after the stream. Thank you for the being a friend.
And don't forget the appeal of the Garden State.
I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Learn all that is learnable. And the ways our differences combine to create meaning and beauty.
It has always been easier to destroy than to create.
May we together become greater than the sum of both of us.
Well, now you have something new to think about. Carry on.
All right, move along. Done. Stop it. Get off of the things. Go outside. Get some food. It's like, it's a time of day where you live. Go do something. Shut up, Snoopy. I don't care. You smoke too much. Let's go. Let's go adventure. Let's go explore.